All right, testing. Okay, everything looks good. Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I'm your host, GameChanger. So, I'm going to make it a point to do more of what I say I'm going to do, meaning that there has been times in the past where something happens and then I say, you know something, I'm gonna get to that later. I'm going to take care of that later. I'm going to cover that later, and then I never get around to it. So that's my bad, but I'm gonna make it a point to, do what I say I'm gonna do. I think that that's very important. Now, backtracking about 12 days, I was on Chantelle Simone's and I came across a fella that I felt it's necessary to dissect. And I want to dissect this not only because of anything personal I have against him or his beliefs or his views, even though I do have something against his beliefs and views, but it's really a broader aspect to this whole crab in the barrel mentality that we as Black men have. It stems from scarcity, and it's a scarcity that we have had for quite some time. It's making us jealous. It's making us overly combative, and it's making it impossible for us to unite under one principle as men. And until we find ways to overcome this and, maybe congratulate other brothers as opposed to trying to take them down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, until we've reached that phase in life, we are always going to be some hating nagagas. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link just for you after my critique. So, case in point here. I'm gonna play this and then I'm gonna input the people from last time who sent me their links. So, here we go. And let me put this here. Hit the like button, people. Hit that like button. And all right. So, case in point. I want y'all to take a listen at this. Fair use. This is Chantelle Simone.
You won't be able to, and I agree 100%. It's not my intention trying to change anybody's mind. DJ Torch, how are you?
Doing good. How about yourself, Chantelle?
Thank you so much for calling up.
Okay, did I say your name okay? Was that right?
Chantelle? Yes.
Oh, okay. Great. Yeah. You have a very well produced.
Okay. Before I get started, if you are 60, you should not be a DJ of anything. I repeat, at 60 years old, you should not be a DJ of anything. That's one thing. That's my first critique. Second, those are women's glasses. I repeat, those are women's glasses. Now, being a man of perfect vision, I have never needed to wear glasses. However, my mama needed to wear glasses and still wears glasses, and those are her frames. Now, they might be neutral, but and who knows? Like, if I went to the glasses store and went to the men's section, I would probably find that particular frame there. But correct me if I'm wrong, I identify, you know how the young people say, I identify as in my pronouns. That is, I identify those glasses as woman's glasses. And the pronoun is her, and here, and hers. And she or something. I don't know how pronouns work. But anyway, those are the pronouns of those glasses. Just saying. Somebody say E40. No, I said rap. Listen, if you have a successful career, just like DJ Jazzy Jeff, if you have had a successful household name DJ career and you have been named that since you were, since you was a teenager, and then you just happened to turn 60 and that was your name your whole life, that's different. All right. Get it? Got it. Good. Oh, somebody says, I don't know what I'm talking about. So those are men's glasses? Okay. Okay. Like I said, I'm not pretending to be an expert on glasses. I'm just saying that. I see women with those frames.
Show. I don't agree with everything you're saying. Some aspects I do agree with. The gentleman who was just up, the problem I have with him right now is I came onto your channel with chill and good vibes, and basically he started name calling, which is ironic because he came onto your, he came onto the conversation with you as if he was speaking to you saying, oh yeah, it's wrong for people to be out doing all the drama and name calling. But it's so funny, if you follow if you later on follow your chat, you'll see all the place where he's calling Peso Man, Pissy Man, and calling me ma'am and girl. And he's being all these disrespectful, what I would call immature things. And it made me think, it's like, dang, okay, let's say your platform does get to the women you want to get to, and they change their mind or they change their ways, let's say, because you can change your mind and not change your ways. And they're ready to submit, right? And here's one of your callers with this level of maturity. Is he ready for her?
Now, this is what I'm talking about hating on somebody to aggrandize thyself. So apparently he gets into back and forth with somebody in her chat, and he's talking to Chantelle, and basically, because Chantelle's whole thing is be a better bitch, and this is how you do it. She has a fitness channel for just that reason. This is how you be a better woman. This is examples of what type of woman not to be. And by not being this, by default, you are going to be a better woman. That is a little bit of what Chantelle Simone talks about. Hit the like button. His response to that is, okay, you're going to teach them to submit, but now I want you to teach them to submit to me. I'm going to say, these are the type of men that you're teaching them to submit to. Oh no, you need to teach them to submit to another type of man. The type of man that's in touch with his feminine glasses side. However, he's still hip at the ripe young age of 60 to where he can wear these glasses and he can talk that DJ stuff. You need to get the women to submit to a guy with, an old-timey microphone from the 60s where the news reporters wore suits and they say, back to you, Kent. You need to get them to submit to that guy. And look at the look on Chantelle's face.
Because it sounds like he's not ready. If he's going back and forth with somebody in a chat, attacking them, calling them schoolboy names, how is a woman, a Black woman, supposed to trust him to keep a level head when things get hard? What do you think?
I was not following what you guys were saying in the chat, so I don't know. But did you have a does that tie into the topic? I'm kind of
oh, absolutely. Because the thing is this: I absolutely agree that a woman should.
Okay, that long pause was him thinking about what the topic is. The topic, of course, being outside the sisterhood. He's like, oh yeah, it ties into the topic because I absolutely think that a woman should basically he's like, what's the topic? But no, the topic is you shouldn't be with him, you should be with me. You shouldn't be with him, you should be with me.
Should let the man lead, but the man has to be a leader to lead. And that is the problem. So how does, for a woman to do what you want them to do, they have to find a leader. How does a woman find a leader out of, because we have the Pookies, right? We have the Rays.
There we go. There we go. Here's all the men that you shouldn't be messing with. And by process of elimination, you know, oh, don't mess with Pookie. Don't mess with Ray Ray. Don't mess with that guy. Don't mess with that guy. Don't mess with that guy. Come on, come on, come on.
We have the volatile men. We have the immature men. We have the hip hop men who.
I told you. Now, you have a 60-plus-year-old man saying, 60-plus-year-old DJ saying, hey, don't mess with those hip-hop men. Those hip-hop men be wrong. Just saying.
All feel like they should all have 12 women. They don't, you know, we have the guys who are deadbeats. We have the so on and so forth. How does a woman navigate around those men to find the good men?
Basically, how does a woman navigate around those men to find my penis? Is essentially what he's saying. These women need to navigate around all those other guys, those gosh darn hip hop dudes, those beboppers, those rap boys. They need to navigate around them to find me. How do you do that? Well, here's a map and here's my address.
She asked her dad for help vetting. She asked the men in her family for help vetting these men. Yeah, I mean, and I do acknowledge that there are the Pookies, there are the on your mamas. Shout out to Kosher Clinician. Those men do exist. A lot of times when these women they get bitter because they associate themselves with those men, and then now they're taking it out on all men. To overgeneralize and say, you know, it's men are either going to be abusive or you're going to have to be raising 5 kids on your own, where those aren't your only 2 options. You can hold out, marry before you carry with a man who is a great leader.
Okay, so with that said, okay, that helps a little bit. But the thing is this is that we're looking at a situation where 1 in 3 women in the United States say they were abused. Let's defend men for a little bit and say that's not 1 in 3. Let's say it's 1 in 5, right? Let's give the men a break.
Oh God. You need a man with sensitivity. A man like he. That's basically what he's saying. I cannot stand that. Like I just want to caution you that those hip hoppers, they be abusing women 1 out of 3. So how do you find the 66% that's not abusing? Well, you come and suck my dick. This is just awful. This is just awful trying to direct women to your camp. It really is. And it's the same. It's the same on other sides. You hear dudes on the other side saying, oh yeah, those dudes are lame. Those dudes are corny. They work for the white man, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's too much of that going on both sides. It's too much of that going on. Stop trying to, man.
So the thing is that I understand that you want to defend and advocate for men. And hey, I'm a man. Yeah, you're working for me. So I'm all like, hey, cool. But the thing is that from what I've seen of men especially in their ages, younger ages, a lot of them haven't found themselves yet. So do you want women to...
Y'all see that? Y'all see that? I can't make this stuff up. Young men haven't found themselves yet. You need to stop messing with those young whippersnappers because they haven't found themselves yet. I found myself as a DJ. I found these glasses. I found my hairline years ago. It's somewhere back there. But you need to stop messing with these young boys. Because these young boys, they do you wrong. You know, 1 in 3 men abuse women. You need to stop dealing with these young boys. I warned you about these young boys.
Get with men who haven't found themselves yet, regardless, just because they're men?
I just said to get with a man who can lead, get with a man who is a great leader, provider, protector, and teacher. Like, even if he is young, if he has potential, if he's showing you the things that, of course, a 25-year-old man can't compete with a 40-year-old man, but at 25, you should be, have your mindset together to stay on that path. I'm not advocating for women to get with the Pookies and Ray Rays.
Okay, describe to me what we call a good man. What traits should a man
who is
have?
a great provider.
This guy is angling. He's like, what traits does a good man have? So I can tell you how you're wrong if you list a trait that I don't have, or you don't list all the traits that I do have.
Provider, protector, leader, and teacher. Shout out to Miss Crimson Cure. She's in here. She talks about the 4 P's. A man who can provide, protect. Those traits, as I said earlier, a young lady if she's dating, reach out to your dad, reach out to your granddad, reach out to your pastor. Help a man vet you, because a man is able to see those qualities in men clearer than you can as a woman.
Okay, so what percentage of men, good men, do you believe that's out there? Good black men out there?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so that's what he's trying. Okay, so she gave a description that he felt like he met. Now what he's trying to do is it's scare tactics. Basically, it's just trying to scare and get women and get Chantelle to scare women into men like him. Like, oh, there are only so many good black men out there. So just saying, you need to be cautious because, there's cheaters and beaters out there, and I'm not any of them. I don't even have a wife beater on. I have a yellow t-shirt.
It's an important question because the women have to deal with their odds, right? They gotta play that roulette table. So what odds does a woman have? These are numbers that are basic, right?
Yeah, the issue is we tend to overgeneralize. We tend to only deal with the small percentage of men who've been in and out of jail, the small percentage of men who have multiple kids out of wedlock. Statistics shows that it's the percentage for baby daddies compared to the percentage for baby mamas is significantly different. So that what that tells us is that majority of women are reproducing with minority of men. So to advocate, to tell women that, hey, stop dealing with men who have kids also.
Okay. I like the way Chantelle says woman in the plural. And I know it's part of her accent or upbringing or heritage or whatnot. I do like the way she do it. But I have to say, I think I like the way she do it because I like Chantelle. If somebody I didn't like was to say it, I probably would just roast just on that period. But I do like the way she says woman that's in the plural.
Wedlock. Stop dealing with men who aren't intentional and who aren't purpose driven. I can't sorry, I can't give you the percentage of how many men are purpose driven, but the point of this here conversation is to advocate, to tell women, hey, deal with these kind of men who look like they can lead something somewhere.
Okay, but with that said, you have to understand the point I'm getting to here.
All right, please.
Women don't have a crystal ball. Okay, so you're telling them.
Y'all see that? Now notice how he mentioned crystal ball. And this is just his way of trying to instill into women the need for a crystal ball while shining his head at Chantelle. That is his way to seduce. He's like, women don't have a crystal ball. Look at my head. Look, they don't have a crystal ball. Look at my head. You need a crystal ball. Look at my head. That is what he is doing. He is trying to lure her in to the top of his head.
To pretty much blindly, I mean, they get vetted, but vetting helps. And I agree. That was a great comment you made about the vetting. But a lot of women don't have anyone, they don't have help to vet.
Go to the church. There's a pastor in every church. You go, you find a therapist, you find a mentor, you find some.
I disagree with Chantelle on that one. On the whole go to the church thing, the whole reason that it should be the father, because he's the one that is, I mean, father, older brother, stuff like that. These are the ones who are almost guaranteed not to try to smash themselves. If this dude was a pastor, he seemed like a dirty pastor. Let's just say this dude was a pastor and you were to go to him and, say, hey, what kind of man should I look for? Well, you should look for a holy man, a man that can get down in church and can DJ on the mic, a man with a salt and pepper beard, a man with a crystal ball up top. You need to get with a man like that. Like, that is the type of pastors you'll run into. Like, I mean, they're going to have their own agenda because you're a young, fertile woman. So most guys, unless you're Catholic and, they took a vow of abstinence, they're going to try to get that younger, hotter, sexier, childless pussy out of you. They're going to steer you in their way towards their penis unless they have a particular reason not to, which is why fathers are the best option for that. Absent that, you have to find another one, because that friend zone dude is not going to give you the right advice. Unless, it is difficult for women in that predicament. But the moment the advice start to see, I mean, it's good advice, what Chantelle was saying, but the moment it start to seem self-serving, then that's when you step away.
Somebody in the community who is a masculine leader. It does not have to be your dad. Find a man who you trust, an older man preferably, a married man too, who you trust to help you vet. I think you're trying to make this a simple situation complex. It really can't be that hard.
Now, she hit the nail on the head with that. She hit the nail on the head with that. Trying to make a simple thing complex. And the reason why this person wants to make a simple thing complex is because he wants her to look to him for help with the complexity.
Hard to vet a man.
Well, if it was a simple situation, everybody would be paired up. So
that's why we're having a conversation, because it's a simple solution.
It's a willingness issue that people aren't paired up.
And it's a simple solution. We're having the conversation because everybody don't do it. As I just said, majority of the women are reproducing with minority of the men. This is why we push the message to encourage these women to stop reproducing with these men who can't lead nothing nowhere.
So then why did you support the passport boys, who definitely are into being promiscuous?
Now you see that? Now his real agenda comes out. Now what he's really thinking comes out. So I looked at his page. This nigga got like a whole bunch of stuff. Like most of his stuff is hating on like Austin. So now his real agenda came out. So why did you support them passport bros? Remember, he's like, he comes up with good intentions. Like, why are you supporting these? You should hate the passport bros because he wants her hatred for the passport bros to be love for the men that stick in it, that stay in it for 60 years. You should hate those guys. You should love me. You should hate those guys. You should love me. You should hate those guys. You should love me. That is what he's trying to produce. Somebody say he got 40 years of player hate in him. No, he has 42 years of player hater in him. Like Jackie Robinson, 42. You become an adult at 18.
Can you point out when I supported passport bros who are promiscuous?
You had a show with them, right? With what's his name, right?
Sir, I don't
act like you don't know his name. She had to scratch her natural hair on that. Oh, and by the way, and yeah, this happened to me. This happened to me before. And it is a harsh realization to come across. But as a man in my 40s, I've come to the realization that when a woman calls you sir, you're not going to hit it. I've been with younger women, and I can't. She got me doing it. I've been with younger women, and when they call you sir, she's not going to drop her panties for you. You're in a whole different category. You're right up there to where if she seen you on the bus, she would relinquish her seat for you. That is where you are at in her brain. Once you have been called sir, that is pretty much it. Okay.
passport bros who are promiscuous.
You had a show with them, right? With what's his name, right?
Sir, I don't, what's the term that you guys call in the chat where you dick watch or something like that? If a man wants to go overseas for a wife or a hookup for a girlfriend, whatever he wants to go overseas for, let him go overseas for it. I'm not, whatever the term is, his private parts.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you believe
penis police
he is a good prospect for a marriage or relationship?
And there you have it. There you have it. That is player hating at its finest. That is literally player hating. To say that somebody is a player and to say to a woman, would you agree that this is a good husband material type dude? Is he husband material? Is he wearing a sweater? Is he husband material? That is player hating at its finest. He is basically berating her for not hating on Austin. Do you believe he is husband material? It don't matter. She is promoting the idea of him to go to another country to find happiness. How you define happiness. It is his prerogative. I told y'all what I do. I told y'all that I pay hookers to arm wrestle each other. That is my business. And next time I go to the Philippines, I am going to pay some midgets to ride dogs. That is not sexually. I'm talking about ride them like horses. That is what I want to do. All right. That is my prerogative. And she just says she don't judge people like that. But you, look at you. You, hold on. Let me show y'all what I mean. And you see, here's the thing. And then this comes from the whole bunch who talk about these guys ain't marrying these women. So fucking what? The whole point in doing stuff like that is to go to places where people have options. And you don't select the first options. If he wants to shop around, then let that man shop around. And if part of shopping is taking free samples, then that is his damn prerogative. If I want to go to a grocery store, oh no, better yet. So there's a seasonal drink at Jamba Juice called the Watermelon Breeze. Now, typically, when I go into Jamba Juice, I get the Strawberry Surf Rider. And it used to be called the Strawberry Tsunami before someplace got hit with a tsunami. And I get the Strawberry Surf Rider. So I walk into a Starbucks one day and I see advertised a drink called the Watermelon Breeze. Oh, and by the way, those of you who feel self-conscious about doing stuff that's stereotypically black in front of white people, don't feel shame. If I want to put my face in a big ass watermelon in front of a bunch of uppity white people, I'm going to do that shit. If I want to eat a bucket of fried chicken in front of a bunch of dignified white people, I'm going to do that shit. It's their fault for having such stupidity on a stereotype. Anyway, so they had a drink called the Watermelon Breeze. And I said, okay, what's that taste like? Let me get a sample of it. And they didn't have a sample cup for the Watermelon Breeze. So they made me a whole thing. And I was like, all right, bet. If I like it, I'll just take the regular size one. Well, no, what they said was, if you don't like it, you could just keep both. So it means I would have 2 Jamba Juices. The Watermelon Breeze and the Strawberry Surf Rider. And I took one taste of that Watermelon Breeze, and I was like, you know something? I accept this. This is now my new drink of choice. You can keep the Strawberry Surf Rider. You don't have to make a Strawberry Surf Rider at this point. But it is my right. It is my right to sample, to shop around. If I want to test drive all the cars, before I decide to settle on buying one, then it is my right. I am a consumer. And if I want to go to the auto district to do it, I am going to do it. I do not fault this man, Auston, for shopping around. If he has to test drive, or if he wants to rent, I do not care. If this man wants to ride the train, I do not care. Because it's a matter of what he stands for. And what he stands for is this as follows, is that it's better options for whatever you like there than here. I repeat, it's better options for whatever you like there than here. If you like to go around on the dance floor randomly biting light-skinned asses, then you have a better chance doing that there than here. If you want to have a healthy dating life where you choose from a larger selection of women, it is better doing that there than here. If you want to marry the first woman that you see with a slim waist, pretty face, and a big bank, it is better doing that there than here. That's all he's saying. Whatever you're looking for is better there than here. But you want to hate on him. You want to say, no, I am a man of virtue. I'm one of those Frenchmen with the gloves that go around challenging niggas to duels and stuff. I am a man of virtue and honor, and therefore you should pick me because, and she's not even like picking Auston like that. But you feel threatened. Why? Because you want her to hate him. You want the hatred that you have for him, the player hater. See, here's the thing. Player haters want women to hate players. That is the crux of what's going on here. That is the crux of this conversation. And he is mad at Chantelle for not hating the player. I repeat, he is mad at Chantelle for not hating the player. Oh, and you, because he's going to be in the chat room saying I'm lying. Am I lying? Take a look at this. Take a look at this, right? Pander Bear Chantelle Simone gets schooled by DJ, by DJ Torch about her punani policing. How is she punani? Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. So yeah, let's take a listen to what he has to say about Chantelle.
This man thinks all women in America, because of his he's built this whole thing turning men off to American women. The same women
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this dude? This is his show. He is on here talking crap to Chantelle about Austin. Like, ooh, that just makes her so wet. Like, ooh, she just got to get some of that. Like, oh yes, I now hate Austin, and my hatred for Austin turns into love for graybeards. Like, that is what he's hoping for. Y'all don't hear it? Y'all should hear it. This is your clip, ass clown. This is your clip with 15 people viewing, okay? You're going to get your chance.
To your thinking and to pair up with other men, but if he's kind of like really in a way countering what you want to happen, because it sounds like to me you want good women and men to get together, but then at the same time let's go forward. So the thing is that how do you navigate and get the information out? How do you get women to buy into what you want them to buy into when you have such bad examples of men on your panel and interview? Oh.
This nigga really thinks he did something. So Danica Marie, shout out to her. She's like, what's going on in here? So somebody's coming at Pygmies again. You remember when what's that nigga name? Donovan Sharp. Donovan Sharp came at you. We got some low weight dude. Get him out of here. Get that 18 person out of here. But we got somebody coming at Chantelle Simone on some bullshit, talking about, why are you pandering to these passport bros? You need to pander to me. You need to pander to me because I'm a DJ and look at my glasses. I'm a DJ. I got a floor. Look at my glasses. That is what he is doing. You have 5 minutes to drop the link or I'm leaving. Leave, nigga. What you think? What's your presence have for me? Leave, nigga. This nigga. What in the? Damn it, Chantelle. Where do you find these dudes? Where do you find these dudes? This is about you. This is not about you. I do not care for your presence. Exactly. I'm willing to bet he did. I'm willing to bet this nigga did. And you want to know why? Because he wants you to pander to his good guyedness. He wants you to pander to, but I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. When I go to when I go to exotic places with exotic women, I behave myself. I'm a good guy, and you should pander to me. man with sensitivity. A man like me. That is this dude. Like, come on now. Just because a woman isn't going out with an outright derelict nigga doesn't mean that she has to be into you. It doesn't. And instead of for accepting that, listen, I accept it. I accept it. Chantelle Simone has a thing for what's that dude name? I just seen a movie with him. Idris Elba. She has a thing for Idris Elba. And I just so happen to not be all British and sophisticated and shit like that. You think I'm here just like, why do you have a thing for Idris Elba? Well, why do you have a thing for him? Hating on the next man is not going to help you, sir. Damn it.
Who are we talking about?
The dude we were talking about. Let's just say all passport boys.
How would I?
Do you believe they would make? Do you believe they would make good husbands to women who want to be good wives?
Yes. If he is a man who is a great leader, provider, protector, and teacher, he will make good husbands to women who want to submit.
Well, you.
Now, what she said made all the sense in the world. Competent leaders should get with willing followers. What she said made sense. Of course, everybody's a boy when you're 60, except the people that are 61 and older. Everybody is a boy. That's his way of diminishing the competition. Okay, y'all remember that movie with Denzel Washington and Viola Davis, Fences? And Denzel was telling the story about how he was 14 and he was with a 14-year-old girl and they was about to, get busy near the river or creek or some crap like that. And then his father came and checked him and emasculated him and stuff like that. And then later he realized that the dad was trying to get with that 14-year-old too. That's what that was about. That's what this is about. Just diminishing competition. Dude, that's lame. And see, here's the thing. I understand. I appreciate you, Danica. Let me do this. Got the matrix right here. So that's and that's what I have a problem with, because unless brothers start seeing brothers as something to work with as opposed to something to compete with, we are not going to get very far. Hold on. Do that one. All right. And there we go. Think I had somebody else. Turkey Hill, appreciate you. All right, there you go. All right. So, by the way, dang, it just looks smaller compared to Danica. By the way, the larger donation, the larger the font. So you got Turkey Hill, appreciate the $2, and then you got Danica Marie, appreciate the 50. Appreciate you both. All right. So, and then I got some more from the last time because it was down, and I'm gonna put y'all in there too. Don't think I forgot about you. All right, it says when supporters become haters, LOL. Exactly. And so he's hating on the men. He's hating on the men because he sees them as competition. And then what I notice is, what I noticed with Chantelle is that he's hating on the women for not hating on the men. He hates Chantelle for not hating Auston. Like, women should hate players, even if Auston identifies as player. you know, I don't know if he identifies as a player. I doubt it. He seems like more of somebody who's exploring options and not just going with the first Brazilian booty that he comes across, which makes all the sense in the world, unless the first one just so happened to be the right one. But nevertheless, he's a young man exploring options, which he has time to do. And he did the same thing here, just realizing that his options are far better there. Perfectly natural. And this man with these glasses. All right, I'll play some more.
You interviewed him and you know what he does. What do you think?
Who are you talking about? I'm confused. I said who? You said let's talk about all the passport bros. Who specifically are you talking about?
Well, we can talk about Hollerman for one, right?
Okay.
Okay. He was on a couple of shows saying that his view of women, which is quite limited because he's only 23, right? Was that he felt like he was sifting through trash. Now, as a man, let's say as a young man as he is, why did he spend time sifting through trash in the first place? Why didn't he just deny sifting through trash and look for the right woman?
That didn't make any damn sense. Why was he sifting through trash in the first place? Why didn't he just look for the right woman? Looking for the right woman is sifting through trash. Dipshit. The problem in America is that the right woman just so happened to be buried in trash. Sad but true. Hit the like button. Sad and unfortunate but true. The right woman just so happens to be in trash. America is trash when it comes to producing wife mother types. Okay, it is trash. In order to find the wife mother type, unless you're lucky, you know, and you're still sifting through trash, you just found the good food or whatever in the first sift, during the first sift. However, you are sifting through trash. You are dumpster diving. I used to live in a place where the dumpster was a community. So every 3 to 4 houses had its own dumpster, which attracted a certain type of people, not homeless, but people who are either young or old. Oh crap. Damn, I meant to make a gold one for you, Johnny. I appreciate you, brother. Hold on. Let me finish this and I'm gonna get to you. Either young or old who just recycle for either the environment or for extra money. And by young, I mean like 10 years old, you know, instead of having a lemonade stand, you recycle. And then old, I mean like you're 80 years old and you don't want to watch Matlock, so you recycle in order to bring in some extra bread, just so you can feel useful in the house. So those are the recycle people that I would see from time to time dumpster diving. And I don't throw away stuff. I don't throw away my water bottles. They pile up in the garage, and like right now, I got a pile of water bottles in my garage. And whenever I get around to it, which is hardly ever, I take those water bottles to the recycle place. All right. And there was a little Mexican boy, and I seen him sifting through. So one time I was just like, here, gave him a whole garbage bag full of them. And my point is that every now and again in your dumpster diving, and he was real happy. He was real happy, and he came back. And then I told him, I said, hey, you want to make some money? And he said, yeah. And I told him he could wash my car every week in order to do that. Now, the short of the story, he only did like 3 times, but the short of the story is that he came up. He came up because on his first escapade of doing that. That's my point. So yes, you can dumpster dive and have a good come up from time to time. He's saying that that process is what American men are going through. That's what we're going through here in the States. We're dumpster diving. It's large majority trash and a small minority of recyclable goods. That is the process. Now, what he is saying, what someone like Auston and Pablo and other passport bros are implying is that when you go to other places, you are going to a place that's just full of metal and plastic. It's just like the land of greater plastic and metal where you could just recycle your ass off. That's what he's saying. But you're trying to condemn. Why? Because you feel that it brings you closer to Chantelle's and Danika's vajayjay. That is what you want, sir. And it's not happening like that. Johnny with the heavy hand. All right. He says he's just mad because he can't afford to travel. And that's another thing. That is another thing. Here, let me put this in before I forget. Johnny, I'm gonna make some changes to the software. I'm gonna get a gold one just for you. You're the one that come. You shouldn't be the same size as Danica. I'm gonna get the same one. I'm gonna get a gold one that's of course larger and just made for you. I did not anticipate, the wealthiest fuck man coming and gracing me when I did the Matrix program. I did not anticipate the $500 shot. So, greatly appreciate you, brother. You will have, and I'm gonna keep you on for the next few ones. Once I come with the gold standard for Johnny and anybody else who wants to come with the heavy hand. But anyway, yeah. And even if he could afford to travel, which I doubt it. And, at 60, like most of the people I know who are expats, right, are like 50 plus. They're retired. I mean, listen, it is beautiful to retire abroad. It is beautiful to retire abroad, especially if you're a single man. There is no reason why you should be here, in my opinion. You got your pension, you got your 401k, you got all that, you got all that going for you. You need to just, man, these dudes are happy. I talked to this one brother who's like 65 or something. A lot of dudes are military. And he was like, yeah, I enjoy it here. I just go back to the States to visit my grandkids. This is in Dominican, and he lived on the East Coast. So it's nothing for him to just take a trip, take a 2-hour flight, go back to Jersey and visit his grandkids, come holidays, and then come back. But he lives there. Like it's a nice life. It is a nice life. But instead, you have these fucking plantation haters that just continue to try to berate people like Danica and Chantelle for not berating others, for not berating Auston, for going to a place where he has better options. To whatever end, that is his prerogative. I'm going to keep that up for a bit. Let's continue. Hit the like button.
Just to get this clear, are you asking me about somebody's personal life who I do not know personally?
He was on. You don't know about him. You interviewed him, right?
You just asked me why was he sniffing through trash.
Yeah, his term.
I do not know him personally.
Okay, his term. That was one of his most famous interviews, and I'm shocked you didn't see it. But basically, he was referring to American women as trash because he felt like he was sifting through trash, and was one of the main reasons.
Yes. The fact that you have to sift through it means that he's not talking about all, because if it's all trash, you don't sift through it. But listen, far too many of American women are trash. Far too many. Chantelle knows this. In fact, Chantelle and I had a discussion where we were talking about, is it the majority? And she feels that it's the majority. I feel that there's a silent minority of pygmies that don't get enough shine. So she feels that it's more than I feel it is. But yet to pretend like you're supposed to be wise and shit, you're 60 years old, you're supposed to be wise. You are trying to turn a blind eye to a bunch of trashy bitches.
Reasons why he was going abroad, because he felt like going abroad to Thai, and I think he's in Brazil now, but I could be wrong. No, he might be in another South country. But the thing was this, is that his core reasoning is this: American women, all of them, are trash. Foreign women, all of them are the bomb, even though
he is not saying all. I don't watch all of Austin's stuff. Not that I have anything against him. I like Austin, I like his show. Been on his show, been on Pablo's show, been on a lot of Passport Bro show. You know, I don't watch all of his stuff, but from what I do watch, he do make it a point to say it's not a utopia. You can get scammed. There are a lot of nefarious women out there. There are a lot of bad women out there. Oh, see, y'all saying that this nigga, he's stalking Austin. Well, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all what he's doing. Because he is on some ill shit. And then he's in here talking about you got 5 minutes, nigga. All right. Look at his page. His last one talking shit about Chantelle. This one, he got a picture of Austin in it. Austin right here. Hold on. What's this? Cab Confessions, dude. Go to the lives. Okay, so you don't have any live videos. But that's, yeah, so yeah, he oh, this is you, Danica. So 57 people watch this. He said, dope Danica continues to blame black women to make failing men, let's see, monetarily feel better, or momentarily feel better. What in the fuck is this? What is up with this nigga? So I'm going to cover that next. So he is on chronic hate mode. He is on chronic hate mode. He hate the player, and then he hate the women for not hating the player. Holy crap. The nigga say, oh, I'm not surprised. So you wasn't one of the 57 people that seen this crap, huh? This dude, man. I tell you, I can't make this up.
he hasn't tried to be in a relationship with one. He's just gone over there to have his little fun. Ain't got no problem. They can go over there and do what they want. The problem is that you're here advocating for men and trying to advocate for women as well, I feel, as far as finding good women to get together, right? So said, is bad.
He never said all. This man is trying to it's just hating. It's just player hating at the worst. He's basically trying to convince Chantelle to hate him. Look at the look on Chantelle's face. Look at the and this is, so you know, this is the expression that player hating gets you. Women are innately disgusted by it. Why? Because it shows poor protection ability. You see, it's on a primal level that they hate niggas like you. Because if you cannot put bros before hoes, and you can't show like a a reasonable ability to unite with other men, then how can you protect? You're just going to be like one man army. You can't get together with groups of men to protect a woman in a cause. You can't, because you are too busy looking at them as competition and hating on them, thinking that that's going to get you some treadway. You are 60. What has that ever gotten you? What have you ever gotten from hating on the next man in your whole damn life? I can tell you, because I know people who are younger who that get you nowhere. For example, right? Our utility company in California, and most of California, is called PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electricity. And I got a friend that worked there, and he told me this story about a new dude, because his job was to, back before they did it in an automated way, his job was to read the meters to determine how much people pay on their bills. So he was a meter reader, is what they called him. And you go from house to house reading a meter, and there's a lot of downtime. So a lot of people would be done like by 2 p.m. or something like that, and they would just take the company car and go home and chill. And that's what this dude's supervisor did, right? So this nigga, being a player hater, went to management and said, hey, such and such is sleeping on the job. When he's done working, he goes home and he takes a nap. He takes a nap. Or he does whatever. He screws his wife or whatever. He does that. But basically, he was hating, thinking that they was going to fire the supervisor and promote him. I don't know what his thinking was. You want to know what management said? They said, we know. And next week, he was fired. And I'm not talking about the supervisor. You hating ass nigga. Nobody likes a hater. Nobody likes a hater. Look at the look on her face. Tim Howard says they want Austin to have a baby mama and paying child support, and then he can explore his options. Yeah, they just don't want to see brothers happy. Because deep down, and this is another thing, deep down, you wish you had did that at 23. I don't wish I did that at 23, but I came up in a different time in Austin. Women, the trash to woman ratio was not the same. But thanks a lot, Tim Howard. Grandfather of the gynocracy, he the old man on the porch with a bottle of cheap liquor, simp God. Yeah, just talk. Well, I mean, damn, but don't listen. I critique the behaviors of the youth all the time. All the time. In fact, just Thanksgiving, I was talking shit about the youth. What was I saying? I was just talking crap about the youth. Oh, these fucking pronoun pussies. These fucking pronoun pussies. Listen, I don't work with kids or people and stuff like that. I have like limited people interaction outside of my team and the project managers and stuff like that. Don't you ever come to me with your fucking pronouns. I'm a grown ass man. I call you whatever the fuck I see. And if you look like something with a dick, I'm gonna call you he. And if you look like something with a pussy, I'm gonna call you she. Get the fuck out of here. So I was talking that crap during Thanksgiving just now. So yeah, I have my critiques of the youth, but am I hating on them? Am I hating on the youth to try to aggrandize myself? No, that's petty. That's sick. All right. And then Danica Marie again says, he used to be my number one fan until I said, I'm not mad at the brothers for exploring options. Exactly. He wants you to hate others. He wants you to hate on other brothers. That is sick. That is sick. He is mad at you for not being mad at somebody. Listen, and I know, look, everybody know I'm a nerd and I'm educated, so I guess that translates into educated lame. Don't care, right? But am I hating on Pookie Ray Ray for being Pookie Ray Ray or the women who choose them? No. No, it's not that big of a deal. It's really not. I'll be honest, half the chicks that choose them niggas I don't even want. But even still, it's not that. Listen, them not fucking them is not gonna make them fuck me. So what the hell? All right, let me play this and then I'll put some names in it in the matrix.
That way, which is okay for him to feel that way. But the thing is that he's built an empire. What do you want to call it? I wouldn't call it an empire, but he's built this whole thing, turning men off to American women, the same women you want to pair up to change their mind, change their thinking, and to pair up with other men. But if he's kind of like really in a way countering what you want to happen, because it sounds like to me you want good men to get together, but then at the same time here comes Holleman.
No, he is not countering what Danica is doing. He is punctuating it. He is putting the or else on it. He is saying or else. And that or else is, if you do, Chantelle Danica is telling them how to behave and why they should behave. Auston is punctuating it by saying, or else I'm going to take my dick and I'm gone. That is what Auston is saying. He is punctuating what they're saying. It's the same thing you tried to do back on yonder when you was a young whippersnapper and you was or a bebopper or whatever the fuck you was in whatever your day was. Like when you was young, there was no or else behind it. It was more like, ladies, you need to shape up, or else what? Or else we're going to tell you to shape up again and we're going to continue to do that shit until I'm 60. That is what happened your generation, you fucking boomer. That is what happened your generation. Auston is saying, I'm going to put an or else behind it.
Saying, oh, all women are bad. Let's go forward. So the thing is that how do you navigate and get the information out? How do you get women to buy into what you want them to buy into when you have such bad examples of men on your panel and in interviews? I'm not saying, wait, let me finish and then I'll let you.
You hear this shit? He's saying when you have such bad examples of men, this is hating at its finest. I'm telling you, people don't realize, and you too old to not realize that hating like this, it triggers something in both men and women. Like they just get disgusted with you. Like take like Benedict Arnold. And that's why I went off on that nigga Obsidian that day. But that's a whole nother story. But listen, it disgusts people doing crap like that. The British they were disgusted with Benedict Arnold. They were disgusted. You're disgusting. Yeah, they appreciate what you are doing and they are exploiting your poor sense of loyalty. But make no mistake, they're still disgusted with you. You're a disgusting nigga. Hold on, I seen somebody else. I seen $5. Big Boss Real Talk. Shout out to my nephew, Auston Holleman, a young man that gets it at a young age. Oh, and they're getting it younger and younger. They are coming to this conclusion younger and younger. unfortunately, because it's that bad. Like I say, it was the 90s when I was his age, or like the early 2000s, 23, 90s, early 2000s, right? And it was different. I would have got it sooner if it was this bad that young. I would have got it sooner. But I see the garbage out there. I see the garbage out there. Oh, God. I don't even want to think about it. And I'm in California. And I got a feeling that it's worse. I got a feeling that it's, oh, God. I don't want to think about what you young whippersnappers got to go through. A young man in a North Kakalaki juke joint. I don't even want to think about what y'all dealing with. Holy crap. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna try to stop talking crap about Mississippi people, because I found out Thanksgiving that I have family members that ate dirt when they was kids too. So I'm gonna try to stop. I'm gonna try to stop making fun of Mississippi folk. All right.
I mean, it's your shut up. But I guess what I'm trying to say is this, is that wouldn't it be good to get good examples of men on your show that women can go, so that is what a good man looks like.
Do you think you're a good example? Do you think you're a good example?
I like how she
I'm old. I'm too old. I'm gone. You know, I'm a good example, let's say theoretically, but as far as for a 35-year-old woman who's you know, it's 4th and 1 for her in her relationships, because remember now, Kevin Samuels said women that are 35 are leftovers. Remember that. He said that in one of his shows. So we're obviously talking about women in that level and maybe a little bit younger. So I'm almost 60. And so what I'm saying is this, is that a men of my mentality, absolutely. A 30-year-old woman, I might be a little bit on the high end, if you know what I mean. But
so
yes,
you're almost 60. You are
absolutely.
older. You are a man who's supposed to be guiding young boys and, you know, helping the.
Yeah, I have.
Good job.
Yep.
And men with want to do the simple thing. If you them, you know, they're like a headless chicken. This show is from a man's perspective. You are called a mammy. I played the video earlier. This is the title of this show. Do you not understand why these men who would much culture to be, whereas a culture to work and clean, whereas a culture to say, do you not understand it would be more and go and find wives?
Well, that would be cool.
All right, Borgen, hold on. Let me close some of these windows. I think I got everything I need so far. So still doing it. All right, give me a second, y'all.
Cool if that's what they were doing, but basically from the videos I've studied, they're out there sharing most of their time and money with prostitutes. You can
be familiar with.
And there we go with the depolicing. From the videos I've seen, they're sharing their time and money out there with prostitutes. I don't think the chicks that Austin be with are prostitutes. And this isn't a shot at the dudes who like to indulge in the working girls. I just don't think that that's what Auston is doing, because he introduced you to the girls that he meet at the gym or something like that, you know, and maybe women go straight from the gym to the strip. Who knows, you know? But if that's what they want to do, so what? If the prostitutes abroad is better than the ones locally, then I get it. Somebody said I can't spell. No, I can't spell. So what? Yeah. There's two things in this world I can't do, and that's sing and spell.
Are you familiar with I'm sorry, Andre from Love Crossing Borders?
Not on the top of my head. No.
Okay, well, what I can gather is because Andre also for got a while it's not so what
about.
So
Yeah, he was on
a
show a little while ago.
He was not very level-headed.
So what you chose to do was to focus on.
He was not very level-headed. Y'all hear this dude? Y'all hear this dude? He cannot help himself. He cannot help himself. A lot of these dudes have this alpha lion mentality to where, you know, you don't actually have to where the goal isn't to defeat the other lion. That's not the goal. The goal isn't to out-lion the lion. It's not the mic, it's the router. But the goal isn't to out-lion the other lion. It's to try to make the other lion look worse than you as a lion. So she brings up somebody else, another lion. He says, oh, yes, he wasn't very level-headed like me. You know, his head. Oh, God. Hold on. Here, I'm going to show you something. Shout out to all the brothers who are 40 with follicles. I am a brother that is 40 plus with follicles. I have my hair up top at 40. At 40 plus. Shout out to all the 40 plus with follicle brothers out there. I look at my family tree and I am fortunate in that regard. This man, not so much. Shout out to Bernard Riley, 40 with follicles. Don't talk about the headedness of somebody else when you are shining and shit. All right, let me stop. Let me continue. All right. I just had to throw that out there. Once again, level-headed. These are the. No, did y'all hear that just now? Did y'all hear the video? Because it borgs when I play it through the thing, so I'm playing it through other means. Oh, crap. All right, hold on. Let me get my stuff together. Let's see. The microphone, got that. All right. Y'all should be able to hear it. Let me go back again. This man is really just trying to hate. Are y'all kidding me? Still no sound? All right. I guess I got to do it this way. This is ridiculous. Shout out to Pablo. 53 was still got here.
Because it's a simple solution. It's a simple solution. We're having a conversation because everybody don't do it. As I just said, majority of the women are reproducing with minority of the men. This is why we push the message to encourage these women to stop reproducing with these men who can't lead nothing nowhere.
So then why did you support the passport boys who definitely are into being promiscuous?
Can you point out when I supported passport bros who are promiscuous?
You had a show with them, right?
Or you dick watch or something? I'm not, whatever the term is, his
prospect for a marriage or relationship.
Who are we talking about?
Women who want to be good wives.
Yes. If
You
he
do.
is a man who is a great leader, provider, and teacher, he will make good women.
You interviewed him and you know what he does. So what do you think?
Who are we talking about? I'm confused. I said who? You said let's talk about all the passport bros. Who specifically?
Saying that his view of America, which is quite limited because he's only 20, is that he felt like he was sifting through trash. Now, as a man, let's say, and look,
I do not know personally.
I'm okay. His term, that's one of his most famous interviews, and I'm shocked you didn't see it. But basically, he was referring to American women as trash because he felt like he was through trash. And his core reasoning of them are the bomb, even though he hasn't tried to be in a relationship with one. He's just gone over there to have his little fun. I ain't got no problem. They can go over there and do what they want. The problem is that.
Y'all hear that? I ain't got no problem. The problem is, yes, you have a problem.
You're here advocating for men and trying to advocate for women as well, I feel, as far as finding good women together with men. So this man thinks all women in America, because of his experience that way, which just pair up to change their mind. I'm a good example, let's say theoretically, but as far as for 30 films at level mentality, absolutely. A man of my age, a 35-year-old woman, I might be a little bit on the high end, if you know what I mean. But
So
yes.
Well, I'm skipping through. Part of it is bad audio. Another part of it is I'm skipping through.
Almost 60. I've been saying this is their experience with women. We have been witnessing caller after caller in Kevin Samuel's show, rest in peace. We've been witnessing. Then I played the earlier. This is the title of this show. Do you not understand why these men who would much rather date out, where it's a culture to be feminine, where it's a culture to wash, cook, and clean, where it's a culture to serve?
It would be cool if that's what we're doing, but basically from the videos I've studied, they're out there sharing most of their time and money with prostitutes. You can look. Are you familiar
with us? I'm sorry, Andre from Love Crossing Borders.
Not on the top of my head. No, not
okay. So
Andre.
What I can gather then is, because Andre is also a passport bros who utilized his passport, got a wife over in Colombia, and is now married, I want to say, for over 5 years.
Oh, something? I know who you're talking about.
So
yeah, he was on
the.
And shout out to Pablo. Didn't he marry a chick from overseas? Didn't you marry a chick from overseas?
A show a little while ago. He was not very level-headed.
So what you chose to do was to focus on Austin, who is a 23-year-old, never said that he was going over there to look for just wanted to date. You are choosing to focus on a 23-year-old as opposed to a 50-year-old who went over there, found himself a wife, and is now working on starting his family.
That was a good play. Am I muted? I can't tell.
No, you're unmuted now.
Okay. That was a good play. The only problem is that he is a different person. You know, I can't speak for his wife's experience, but when we were interviewing him over on another show, he wasn't the most level-headed person, firstly, and secondly, everyone knows that Auston Holleman is the poster boy of the passport boys, or the passport bros, or whatever you want to call them these days. So it's obvious that since we were talking about the passport bros, we went forward with Hollerman. That's why we got so deep into the conversation, because he is the man of the passport bros. I know and I agree with you, but I agree with you because at 23.
Here's the perspective. If men in general, 23-year-olds, 50-year-olds, if both Austin and Andre were to stay in America and date American women, Austin wouldn't be looking for marriage now. Andre would be, right? So how about in seeing it from this light? And I'm not. This is not the topic. So we're going to move on shortly and get your viewpoints on the topic. But how about seeing it where Austin is not going over there not for a wife, not because he's trying to, take advantage of women overseas, but it's because of his age. And we have men, who are going over there for a wife. We can see both dynamic. Men who are going over there for wife, girlfriend, hookup, or for just a good time. Why do we choose to focus on the ones who are going over there for just a good time and turn a blind eye to the men who are actually getting married and showing the receipts? Are you familiar with Richie Mack? Are you familiar with Richie Mack? I unmuted your mic.
No.
Okay, Richie Mack is another one that's over in Thailand. I don't believe that he's married, but he is in a long-term relationship. It seems to me that you're only choosing to focus on one person, Auston Holleman, which I'll give it to you. He became the poster boy.
So she's talking about Zoom to Thailand. I think that's dude that looked like Gregory Hines, Zoom to Thailand. And yeah, I don't know if he's married either, but I do know that he showcases a main chick at least. But once again, what's it to this dude?
For passport bros, even though it has been going on since the 80s, It's even longer than that. I've been seeing men have been going over there since the Vietnam War, apparently. But still, a lot of men who want to dick police Austin have a problem with where he goes to utilize his private areas.
It's not really that.
Look at how classy Chantelle is. Look at how classy. That is the classiest way with an accent I have ever heard a dick referred to. To utilize his private parts. That is the most classiest. Shout out to Chantelle Simone. That is the classiest way to describe fucking ever. Other than like literally calling it coitus. Like literally like a doctor saying coitus, which is more clinical than classy. This is how a man utilizes his private areas. I'm gonna hear that again.
But a lot of men want to dick police have a problem with where he goes to utilize his private areas.
Utilize his private areas.
It's not really that. He can utilize his private areas all he wants. It's the conversation of him disrespecting American women. That's the problem. Nobody would care what he did or what he did or who he did. The problem is that in every one of his videos, literally every one of them, he's disrespecting American women, which is devaluing American women, which
oh my God. Yeah, it's Austin that's devaluing American women. It's not the women themselves. It's Austin that's devaluing American women. Make this make sense.
Doesn't help your situation because the goal is to get men and women together. That's the goal. So if that's the goal,
let me clarify that for you. My goal is
okay, so this is me in the chat. I made a good point because I'm a wise person. I made a good point in the chat. Glorilla devalue American women. Now, I'm going to talk about Glorilla for a second. Hit the like button. I'm going to talk about Glorilla for a second. Glorilla, her music video, the women on there looked like shit. It looked like she just had like a random like selection pool. Like she just went to like a sociology class in a junior college in the Southern Hood and told all the chicks to come and be in the music video. It is the most random assortment of, you know, slightly below average looking chicks that you've ever seen. And this is how you chose to represent the typical. You're always supposed to put your best and brightest like in the forefront. But instead, you had all kind of pigeons and ostrich and crows and ravens and stuff like that. That was just, yeah, that was kind of bad.
Minded women together. I'm not encouraging any.
Before I even mention what you were saying, yeah, she's making them look bad.
Men to get with these hooligans that we see. That's majority of the hooligans in the Black community. The women who are combative, the women who are and serving your man a plate. They are vocal with that. I'm not encouraging these men to get with them.
okay, when I say good woman, I'm defining good woman as exactly what you would define a good woman, which is not a hooligan. So let's get past that part. But you brought up a good point. Have you talked to your men in your group about pursuing the right woman? Because a lot of them, you know where they are at, you know why they're mad, because they're pursuing IG models.
Oh God. Men are mad because they're pursuing IG models. No. Men, particularly black men, have diminished their standards. And I'm assuming that IG, first of all, we need to stop giving the label model and star to women who don't deserve it. Okay? You are not a porn star if you have an amateur sex tape out on Pornhub. That doesn't make you a star. You're not a star at that point. You're a person with a sex tape. You're not a star. If you are an Instagram model, just because you're on Instagram, that doesn't make you a model. You have to get paid. Somebody has to give you money. A sponsor has to say, I want you to model this. You have to model a product that the owners of that product is paying you to model before you are an Instagram model. So what this dude is trying to say is he's trying to say that the standards are too high because they want Instagram models. That Austin's problem was that he was looking for Instagram models. He didn't see an attractive young woman on the block and she turned out to be psychotic, you know, or she turned out to have 4 kids by 5 dudes. That's not the problem. Glorilla, who isn't an Instagram model, isn't the problem. Lori Harvey, you know, who's a woman who just didn't want it, who just didn't want to get married, isn't the problem. And guess what? Guess who else isn't the problem? Hold on. And she isn't the problem. Who this woman? This woman is Latoya Forever. Latoya Forever married this man and had these kids and started what was supposed to be a happy, light-skinned family. A happy, light-skinned family. But then one day she decided to divorce him because he was giving the kids more attention than he was her, as a good father should and would. So she decided to divorce him and find another boo. And when she did, she left and she quoted, "I'm for the streets." Oh, but it's his fault for wanting the Instagram model. Kill yourself.
What group? Can you clarify what group? Are you talking about the Passport Bros group?
No, we're away from that. Remember, we moved on.
So what group are you talking about?
I'm talking the group. Look at Manosphere. Manosphere men. Manosphere men. Know this for
now he's finding
they
a
love
new group
them
of people to hate on.
That's your question.
Everybody love IG models. The fuck is wrong with you? That's why they get paid to be looked at. So nothing is wrong with the women. Something is wrong with the men for being attracted to attractive women. Is there a fault for being attracted to attractive women? Y'all see the effery? Y'all see the fuckery? You see it? You see it? You see it with your eyes? You see it?
So as a 60-year-old man,
right,
you're asking a 31-year-old woman to talk to me about what kind of woman they choose. It's not and advice.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like this. Men are you're
young boys, let me know so I can tell them it's not my hope as a 60-year-old man to know it's not my role as a woman.
Oh, dig. It is not my place to give a 60-year-old man Oh, she is. Yeah, I know. I know. She is killing this dude. She is killing him.
Into a woman for relationship advice, you go to a man for that. I'm not a man, and I've never been a man. I've never been a boy, so I can't advise you. So you now telling me that I should be telling men to stay away from Instagram models, but that's not my role. And I find it highly disrespectful that you're going to tell me how I should run my channel. I choose to focus on the woman and the children. If you have a problem with that, just don't watch. It's YouTube. Do you have anything else you want to add before I move on to the other caller?
Yes, I do.
Oh God.
Basically, I wasn't.
She basically was saying, "I'm sick of this nigga. I am sick of you and your hating."
Telling you how do you run your channel. What I was saying is that most of the men might, the way that you present your videos, might think that you are giving them advice. And yes, they are very welcome to come to my channel and get advice directly on how to find the right woman.
Ain't that a bitch? Why would they go to your channel and the 43 subscribers to find the right woman when Austin is showing them the right woman? I tell you what. Show us the right woman that you found, nigga. Show us the right woman that you found. What, is she in the background tidying up your desk or some shit like that? Because you had like 2 of Austin's lifetime. You had more than 2 of his lifetime. You had 2 of his lifetimes plus 6. Or excuse me, plus god damn. No, you had damn near 3 of his lifetimes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to. Damn, y'all eager to come up. All right, hold on.
Let's make it simple. How to find the right woman. That's at DJ Torch on the channel. You can come to me, ask me any questions you want. All I ask is for you to be civil about it, and I will give you, young men, the information and the expertise you need to find a good woman. How about that?
This nigga.
The fact that I had to present that perspective to you as a 60-year-old man, it validates the point that you made earlier. But thank you for the time. Thank you for your time. Thank you for calling up. And if you go on his channel and get advice from him, feel free to. Shout out to everybody who.
All right, listen to how polite Chantelle is. If you want to go on his channel and get advice, and keep in mind that after she gave that advertisement, like it's still like 43 subscribers. Like, hey, if you want advice from this nigga, then go right ahead. And like nobody went. Like, oh, this is something. This is spectacular. The universe really just blesses me with special type people. You know, shout out to Chantelle Simone for finding this dude. Yeah, she sent them away gently. You know, I'm thinking about like when a Viking dies and then they put him in the boat and then they send that boat to sail off somewhere. Yeah, this is that. This is that. All right, who's this?
Hello, Game Changer.
Hey, how you doing? Why you look familiar?
Great. How are you? I'm probably
well.
I come up here a lot.
Oh, I don't throw the link out there all the time. What's on your mind?
No, I'm a supporter of your channel. I come up here a lot. But no,
that's what's up.
I can't believe
No, that's
that's hurtful. Dang, that's hurtful. I thought you were record. Why would you forget me?
No, I am bad at I'm bad at stuff. My bad, love. Go ahead.
Dang. Yeah, but I was just gonna say I agree. I don't think it's a whole that's like stupid to say it's the whole country. I think it's a race thing, honestly. And I'm just gonna be honest. I think his experience over here, I don't think he dealt with different groups of women. Because I've noticed
Austin?
white. Yeah, because I noticed that white women are still traditional, and Asian women are still traditional. There's so many nice, productive women. I think he dealt with too many Black women, and it made him just generalize the whole entire country. And I don't think, because even Austin is the type of guy who won't even go to Africa. So it's not a country thing. I think it's a race thing. I think it's like in our DNA. Because honestly, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm about taking accountability. And us Black women, we don't have respect for Black men. We have more respect for white men than we do Black men. And it's sad that it's like that, but it just is. And that's why I don't mind. I see why Black men date out and deal with other groups of women, because they're never going to get the respect from us. And they're just not. Black men are more happier with other groups of women. So I thought that was super laughable that he said the whole entire country, because I've witnessed relationships lasting a very long time with interracial dating, even with like Black women dating out. Like, I think it's just that our community is broken, and Africa is more those women over there in Africa are very manly, very aggressive. Typically in Africa, those women work. They do a whole lot. Like, they are damn near like the men. Like, even when African women come over here to the country, they're very aggressive as well. They might talk in a different accent, but they're just super aggressive. That's why I say it's definitely in our bloodline. And I don't think we are compatible with each other, if that makes sense. I think Black men, what I have seen and what I have witnessed. Sorry, I'm like super out of breath. I'm never like this. I got these rib tips over here. So
What the hell?
I got rib tips and macaroni and collard greens. I'm taking a break right now. I don't know if you know, but I work for DoorDash and Instacart and stuff. So whenever I go on break,
she was eating that. I thought she was like, talking about.
No, I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
No, I'm out of breath. Me personally, the fat ass. I'm out of breath.
Well, okay. Let me comment on what you were saying. I think that the primary reason why brothers don't go to Africa is the reason why I've never been to Africa, and that is because the distance. I'm in California, so to go to West Africa is probably the farthest place on the globe from me.
Well, I don't think you will like it if you go to Africa, honestly.
Well, I don't know. I've never been. I've never been. However, the African women here, now typically they come here for H-1Bs and they're engineers and stuff like that. They come here for that reason, or the relative of those who do. They tend to be pleasing, so to speak. Now, as far as is it genetic, I would say no. And I also want to point out that Austin is in a country that is primarily Black. And some of the
when you guys say Black, it's typically the diluted ones, like people who are mixed.
We're all diluted, but nevertheless, Austin is.
Yeah, but there are more people who are like around 90%. White people are diluted too, but there's typically white people are diluted.
That's not.
But white people.
But I will say that he does seem to be dealing with African American women, and Mr. Shane Vicious
I look at him. I'm sorry.
Mr. Shane Vicious said it best when he said that. Dang, actually, I lost what he said. Hold on. Oh, it's cultural.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say
there are a lot of cultural things. There are a lot of cultural things that is.
I don't think it's cultural. I think
needs to be changed about Black American women. Now, I want to show
no.
you
I just think it's based on how the way.
If it was genetic, not only would it be consistent throughout the diaspora. Wait, don't interrupt. Not only would it be consistent throughout the diaspora, if it were genetic, it would also be something that you see throughout all times. And I will say that grandma wasn't
those women that he
the reason why these women are called these. Wait, stop. The reason why Kevin Samuels called these modern women, because these are modern women, meaning it's new, and meaning that the culture is new. Their genetics haven't changed from grandma. Who just made
those grandmas were masculine.
They were not masculine. I had those grandmas. No, they was not. You crazy
I see Black women.
I seen grandma, and I seen the way both grandmas treated grandpa, and you talking crazy. I don't know what's going on with your grandma. I don't. You could have had
No,
like the
my
first
grandma is
grandma
Puerto Rican,
of this
and my black
there you
grandma
go.
is
Well,
in the
my grandma is from the South, and she was not masculine. Now I'm gonna show you something else, but before I do that, Chris, what's on your mind?
Can I ask you a question?
Wait, right quick. Let me finish with Chris because I'm gonna bring up something. Hold on, go for it, Chris. You got it.
Yeah, what's up? You can hear me, bro?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of an echo. Am I coming out good? Because I think I got an echo.
I hear you fine.
All right. Well, yeah, man. I just want to say I don't understand all the hate for the passport bros. You know what I'm saying? Like, here we go again. We got, you know what I mean, this dude. I don't even really know his name, DJ, whatever. Out here hating on Austin. This man is clocking. You know, he's depolicing. He's talking down on passport bros like it's his business in the first place, bro. Like, I'm so tired of these cats who always got so much to say about what we do and how we move, family. Like, it's not their business on what we do and how we move. Like, the whole point of us being passport bros and doing what we do is to let y'all know we exercising our power, and you don't come up in here telling us what to do, giving us rules, telling us how to move, and his whole perspective of the whole situation is off. Talking about if the situation or if the goal is to put everybody back together, black men and black women. Let me tell you something right now. Passport bros don't give a shit about black men and black women coming back together. It's not about building a community. It's not about putting this shit back together in the States. That is not the operation of passport bros. So he's grading Auston Holleman on a metric that Austin isn't even trying to play by. He's not even playing by them rules right now. And this man is trying to tell him what to do and how to move. You know what I'm saying? And another point, Austin is not king of the passport bros, by the way. Like, we're a whole community throughout a different bunch of groups. And this man's targeting Austin like he's the only person that exists throughout the whole entire passport community. We got many content creators. We have many groups. And this man is trying to grade every passport brother off of Austin and how Austin moves. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, the depolicing is disgusting. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ed. Ed calls them dice agents. You know what I mean? This man is like, you know, like the head honcho, the head commander of the dice agents right now. Like the energy that this man is dripping with is nasty, bro. Like, see, like I said in the comments, bro, that hating energy dries up the box, man. This man's Chantelle started to get annoyed with this nigga, bro. The way he was just straight hating, it just was just like, bro, like, are you done, family?
I agree. And Chantelle is a calm person. Well, let me say this first. Now, look at this. Look at this. This is how they used to be. You see, wasn't shit wrong with their genetics. They wasn't born genetically prone to being fat as fuck and all that crap. What I'm saying is that they used to be better.
You're bringing up TV.
The problem is
you're bringing up
the
TV.
problem is this is reality. This is how they danced and stuff like that. This isn't a show.
There was a stereotype.
These are not actors. They are not actors. No, they wasn't.
Can I ask you a question?
Fat, belligerent, and obnoxious.
Can I ask you a question?
So we know.
Can I ask you a question?
After I'm finished. So we know that it is not genetic. It is the new what do Danica call it? GMOs. It's the new GMOs that they put in the food that stop them from being able to do the splits or whatever, you know, like they did back in the day. The problem is not that. The problem is not genetics. It's the fact that they decided to wake up one Sunday morning, put breakfast on the table, and become a belligerent bitch. And people like Danica and Chantelle are trying to convince them to find their inner soul train chick, get your ass back on the dance floor, get your ass back in the gym, and start doing stuff like this again. That is what they are doing. So get right and stop blaming your mitochondrial DNA because I don't want to hear the shit. Go for it.
Okay, so there was a stereotype even back in the 70s of even cartoon characters that displayed Black woman as super, super big. Like, they have always been like that as much as I remember.
No, they
even
did.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Let me say this. That is a mammy trope. You want to know why that trope?
Yeah,
existed?
mammy. That's why mammy is called mammy.
Exactly. You want to know why that trope existed? That trope existed was to advertise the concept of letting Black women into white women's home. You see, I'm gonna put it out there.
No,
yes, it was. Mammy
stereotypes
was the
exist
maid.
for a reason.
And no white woman wants a maid that looks like Pam Grier in a goddamn house.
On average, Black women do not look like Pam Grier.
That is what happened. And then you say
this is a
stereotype or this is fiction, and then you bring up other fiction. Damn it!
I'm just saying
these are not
stereotypes
paid
exist for
actors.
a reason.
Hattie McDaniel.
And Jemima was fat. Like all of the women, I could pull up pictures from the 60s.
Yes, she
Let
was.
me pull up Martin Luther King.
Yeah,
Martin
you
Luther
pull
King
up
marches.
go ahead.
When I look
You
at the
do that.
marches
You
from
do that.
Okay.
when I look up,
pull up the marches. And
Can
yeah,
I-
you're gonna
can
see
I-
a whole lot of
and
fat
put it in the
women.
Okay.
backpack.
You're gonna see a
Okay,
whole lot
listen.
of fat women.
One sec.
No, you do that, and then we go to.
Man, let the man talk.
Getting the water hose.
I'm masculine. I'm black woman. I'm a black woman,
Now-
so I'm masculine. I can't help it.
I'm gonna say your piece.
Can I jump in here right quick, please? Can I please jump in here? Because this is my topic.
Yeah, I get it. Hold on, Archer. Then we're gonna go to Jalen, and then you. Go for it, Anna.
I was just gonna say that even when I see the pictures of the marches and I see people, I don't know where you from, maybe you got a miracle family, but even on my black side of the family, when I pull up the old pictures of my grandma, and they were all fat, like they just were. They were. It was in black and white, and it was a fat woman with a permed hair, really short, like this, and they would put it in a ponytail. So those were like fat mammies that you would regularly see.
Okay. Well,
when white people mimic black women, they put those big pillows behind them and put on the big giant lips because that is the look of black women. Those big giant.
I see what you're saying.
They've always been like that.
That is your family. That is your family. Your family tree just so happened to be a watermelon tree. That's just you.
They've always been like. I'm sorry.
My grandma was regular, and I seen old black and whites of my grandma, and I didn't see any fat ass bitches in there.
Can I please jump in here?
A unique thing. Hold on, we're gonna go to Jalen, and then you got it, Archer. I'm gonna give you extra time.
Oh, me?
Yeah, Jalen, that's you. Yeah.
Oh, about Auston Holleman, what he said, he's correct on certain stuff, but I have to agree with what he said about the women here in America.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, you're sifting through trash, and I agree with that statement. All right, you got it.
Game changer. I'm just here to speak the knowledge and the truth.
Okay, I appreciate you, bro.
Let me jump in here right quick because there has always been a trope about Mammy, the nurse that takes care of the white woman's kid being fat. But the thing about that nurse, she was always old too. And nobody has a problem with old black women being fat. Women get fat as they get older. The problem we have in America right now is you have a bunch of 20-year-old fat women, which was not the case back in the early 1900s. It's never been the case when a majority of the young black women were obese. The stats prove it. The black female obesity shot up in the 80s and 90s. It did not. It was nowhere close to what it was today before then. So yes, black women have always had shape and been curvy, but that's not obese. There's a big difference between having
I have
an
the
ass
60s
and a
march
butt.
up. Here's the pictures of what they look like back in the 60s.
I do not care what they look like. The stats show that black female obesity has never been as high as it is right now. And if you go back to Africa, you want to blame it on Africa? You go to Africa. Africa has the second lowest obesity per continent next to Asia, right behind Asia.
They don't have food. That's why.
No, that has nothing to do with food. What the fuck are you talking about? Africa's one of the most.
When African women come over here,
Stop addressing her.
Africa's one of the most resource-rich places on the planet. They have crops. They have food. They make their own food. They don't have to have my baby mother's Nigerian. I've dated plenty of Africans. Africans are not starving.
Archer, really?
Sorry.
Let me just say the one thing. That makes absolutely no sense for her to say that, Africa because they don't have food. We have gyms here. We have top of the grade gym technology, and we have avenues and places, occupations where you can learn how to work out and lose weight. There's no reason we're not in a third world country where we don't have books, or you can literally walk to a gym in metropolitan areas. There's no excuse for being a fat ass. So what is she talking about?
Well, no matter what, no matter what, it reinforces what we say, and that is his culture. Whether it's wealth-induced culture or it's just American-induced culture. If they come here and adopt a new culture and become fat, then the problem is the culture. Now, I want to show this. This is Alabama City, which, and I got a feeling, I've never been, but I got a feeling that Alabama is fat as hell now. But look at the regular Alabamies back then. A bunch of Alabama women in black and white and shit like that. And it's not a bunch, and these are younger women. It's these aren't women who had 8 kids, and then you say, you know, oh, she's fat. No,
sorry.
These are wait, right quick. These are younger women. These are younger women look like they could all wear the same outfit and shit. You know, that is what it was like back then. And these
I have an explanation for that picture. I have an explanation for that picture.
It's a video.
The reason why that picture is like that, because that picture looked like it was taken back in the 1920s when they first got out of slavery. They didn't have food.
This is
back
not
in
the
those
20s.
What
This is the 60s.
Oh my God!
This is the 60s, and the point is that it was the past.
Yo, let me jump in here right quick. She's making a good point
because the culture was different. And,
she's making a good point though, Game Changer.
What I'm saying, no, I get what you're saying, Archer. But what I'm saying is, if you overfeed any bitch, she's gonna get fat. The problem with modern women is that you eat too damn
You eat too much. You don't have self-control.
That's what I'm saying.
We're
not damn plate cleaners.
However, it is not genetic, because if it was genetic, you would be fat whether you eat or not. Like,
whether you had the food or not, you would be fat. But you eat too much.
Yeah, my thing is, white women are not going through that. We are going through that.
Let me ask you a question. When did slavery end? I want to know. Do you know when slavery ended?
It ended in 1866 or 18. It ended in
1863. You're close. So you said 1920 as though like that was 1920.
That is still because even when
what is he talking about?
You should know that even when slavery ended in 1962, people still owned slaves until like 19. Just because slavery ended in 1862, people still owned slaves.
All right. Get to the point. It ended in the 1860s. Get to the point.
Yeah, but people still owned slaves up until the 19.
Brother, get to the point.
Who, me, right? Okay, so my point being is when she said 1920 as though like that was people who have still grandparents that are living from that time. Like,
oh, that's
you said like
point. Yeah.
Slave.
Nah,
yeah, she said that. Talk. She's like, oh, slavery just ended. Yeah, like
my great grandmother that was alive.
It's crazy talk.
We're not my great grandmother. You can't say that. I'm sorry. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
We are not going to entertain this nature versus nurture. We are not going to. I don't care. We are not going to entertain this nature versus nurture.
No, I'm just saying my great grandma.
No.
My great grandmother.
Black women, there is nothing wrong with your nature, your genetics. I don't want to hear your genetic excuse.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
want to no. Hold on, right quick. Get your
my great grandmother,
and you need to stop starting beginning school and start finishing school. Fuck you.
Well, maybe black women.
My great grandmother. I'm sorry.
No, I don't care. I don't care about how fat your great grandmother was. I don't.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just saying the guy was disrespectful.
It don't matter. What you are saying, we're shifting the topic. I apologize.
No, I'm sorry, but he was disrespectful to my great grandmother.
What the hell?
No, he wasn't.
No, no. We're moving the topic.
Ma'am,
the topic
what is
of the
she
day.
talking about, ma'am?
Because my great grandmother was damn near a slave. She was when she got out of
the topic of the day,
bro.
No.
You
know what you're a slave to?
I'm not
you're a slave to history book.
You are a troll, man.
My great grandmother still got beaten.
Popular troll in these spaces. She is a popular troll. She comes in.
I'm not a troll.
Yes, you are.
I'm not a troll. I go on.
You've been on my channel. You've been on every damn Passport Bros channel doing the same shit.
I'm also a Republican supporter. I go on the lapeef and I debate them.
Bitch who runs around and you're not black and that's your
troll.
All right.
I go everywhere.
Calm down, please.
Hold on.
Men,
Everybody calm down.
Why do you hate me? Why do you?
We are changing the subject. The subject now is hating ass niggas. Anybody who don't have anything to say on old hating ass niggas, get the fuck off. Okay? This is your chance. If you don't have anything on that topic, now's your time to exit stage off.
Left.
All right. So, Pablo, what do you have to say on the hating ass niggas topic?
So, and that old guy, and I'm 53, that guy's in his 60s. And I am ashamed that his response to a young man like Auston Holleman is, oh, he should have stuck around longer to eat more shit. No. Why wait until you're 35 years old, 40 years old to figure out that what you're doing isn't working when you can easily change your location and change your options? It's that simple. That you have to, quote unquote, date every woman before you can know any better is a bunch of bullshit. No, if there is a cultural problem that is making the women more disagreeable, more obese, and less likely to make good wives, then you transfer your location somewhere to where they are less obese, more cooperative, and more of a cultural mindset to be a partner, to be a wife, instead of a feminist individualist, no matter their race. So for that guy to sit there and berate Auston for being smart, for being easy to use his skills of deductive reasoning to figure out there's no need for me to stick around and sift through the trash, shame on him. Shame on him. He had his opportunity in life and he's fucked it up. And now he's mad that he fucked it up. And he can't stand to see another young man avoid all of the bullshit that he did not avoid. And that's all I got.
Crabs in the barrel, right?
Why is it that you feel right quick? We're gonna go to Archer then you. Why is it that you feel that brothers, as opposed to like the older generation, and I'm old enough to be the father of somebody in his 20s, why instead of for saying learn from my mistakes, a lot of the older brothers like myself, or at least my age, are trying to coach them into the mistakes that they had? Why do you think that is, Pablo? And then we'll go to Archer. Or not Archer, but whoever that was. I think it was Azrael.
That's a good question. And I think it goes back to the Highlander Negro syndrome. Oh, you should be like me. Oh, I'm better than you because I stuck it out.
Yeah. Stand in it.
Yeah, it's like the stand in it Negro mentality. You need to persevere through these trials and tribulations and be long suffering. Why should I suffer at all for something that is natural everywhere else in the world? That comes easy.
Can I back him up on this?
Well, can I just say something real quick?
We're gonna go Azrael than you, I promise.
You had asked me a question, GC.
Okay, go for it.
No, I was asking. Did you said because you mentioned me? That's why I was. You said.
No, I mentioned you because you were chiming in, and I wanted you to go next. But if you didn't have anything to chime in,
it'll be quick. Pretty much it's crabs in the barrel mentality. It reminds me of Minister Jab said the same thing. He was like, people were arguing with him, and he was like, "I guess you just don't want to compete then." And it made me think, like, even before this, like my last relationship, I'm like thinking to myself, like, why is it so hard? Like, I couldn't fathom my grandfather. My grandfather came here from another country, right? And like, I couldn't fathom him having to have like a dating coach, or he had to buy books, or he had to buy courses. The man didn't have no, like, yeah, he was literate and whatnot. He had multiple businesses, but it wasn't like he didn't have to go to school for no extended period of time. He didn't have to make six figures. He didn't have to have like bulging biceps and this, that, and the third. Like, he was just, because of him being a man, like, it was just an easy transition to find a woman, you know. I think to myself, when they're like, you don't want to compete, then I'm like, yeah, on a surface level, you do have to compete, right, to be the best version of yourself. But they're making it seem as though you're like running the Ironman course, like you're running a triathlon. And I realized, I knew something was off when I said to myself early this year, why does dating feel so hard in your 20s? Like, it's supposed to be fun. When it gets into your later years, it's supposed to be slightly difficult. But I'm thinking to myself, why is it so hard? You know, and then Austin came through and a couple other people. I was like, okay, Now it's making sense. Like I'm not the only one.
And that's interesting because
we're
going to go to Anna and then you, brother.
Right, cool.
Because of the culture of modern women, femininity has become scarce, and as a result, the men have become extraordinarily competitive, have become hyper competitive. And I think that the brother that we were displaying earlier is, Jalen Cameron's on. I don't know if you want that, but yeah. But the brother's becoming hyper competitive, and it's really making it damn near impossible for brothers to unify for other reasons because we become hyper competitive for the few feminine women out there. So but thanks a lot, Azriel. So Anna, what's your take? You say you agree with Pablo?
I do back him up on this one because I feel like no one should be belittled on their personal life decision. If a black man wants to go overseas, let him. It's an individual basis. Why is another man worried about what another man is doing? If that individual man want to preach his message, and he do willingly, he's not like he's putting a gun up to his subscriber's head. If other men really do feel like that and they want to leave, why belittle them to stay? That doesn't make any sense. Let them go be happy. If that's what makes them happy personally, then let them go be happy. And I say the same thing to black women who try to belittle black men who date out interracially. Like that's like the same equal level. Why belittle a black man for what he likes? If he likes a particular type of woman, let him go get it, because if he gets someone that he doesn't like, or he's forced to get something that he doesn't like, it's not going to end well. It's just going to be another broken heart person that he tried to make work. For an example, let's talk about some celebrities who strictly date out, but then they get belittled so much that they try to give black women a chance, but they just don't feel it like that because that's not what they're attracted to. But then you got that when they break up, you got that broken-hearted black woman who becomes super bitter. And it's like, well, you guys should have left him alone in the first place because you wasn't his type. You know what I mean? Everybody has a type. Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, why not let people, if you force someone to do something, they're not going to be their best at it. So if you force a black man to stay in a country he doesn't want to, he's going to not have that energy. Even when he do get into a relationship, he's going to bring that bitter energy because in general, he wants to be out. He wants to be free. So let him do what he wants. You know what I mean? If a black guy wants to date out, let him do what he wants. Because if he's forced to date a black woman, it's not going to be genuine love. It's just when they break up, it's going to be another broken-hearted black woman and stressful black man. He's going to be even more stressed.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So yeah, definitely. But if you could find one of a culture similar to, or an upbringing similar to one that you find abroad, and you find happiness with one here, then I would say go for that as well. But yeah, I definitely see your point and respect your point of view, Anna. And what's his name? Chris.
Yo.
Chris. What's on your mind, brother? Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just want to back up what Azriel was saying, man. It's like we shouldn't be having to like compete in a contest of champions to see who's gonna be the winner of the Game of Thrones and rule the black bitch, bro. It's like it ain't even about that, bro. Like if we competing out here to get our bread up. We competing out here to be the best version of ourselves. We competing out here to, we compete with ourselves to see how quickly we can get that flight. You know what I'm saying? To get back over the Caribbean. Flying wherever you gotta go, bro. Like that's the competition. Like to say that, oh, you niggas weak because you don't want to sit here and fight it out and all this other. That's in what point in history have any race of men ever had to fight down a battlefield just for the respect of their women, bro? Like even the poorest man can cross the waters and come over here to this country, and if he brings his women or his woman with him, she's still generally gonna be a ride or die because she understands where they come from, and she respects that man off of the culture
I agree.
that they have together. You know what I'm saying? So basically, we already understand that in here in the States. Now, this is one thing. This is the thing. We understand that the state of Black America in the United States, the culture is bad, bro. The culture is toxic.
We're horrible.
We're starting to see it spread around in different areas, right? So my thing is for these bystanders who want to sit here and try to tell us, oh, you need to sit here and stew in this pot of shit while we can see everything is falling down, and you're trying to stand here and try to tell us the house ain't on fire. We're just like, nigga, get out of here, bro. We're not listening to you cats. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these game cats and a lot of these old niggas, we're not listening to you niggas sit here and try to tell us, especially us millennials, we're not going. And especially the zillennials, you know what I'm saying? Like Austin, we're not going, bro. Like, I mean, like so many people have predicted that this is what was gonna come. This is what was gonna come. Is that first? Listen, let me tell you the first prophecy. The first prophecy was that the younger generation was not going to stand for this BS that's going on in this culture. The second prophecy is that you're going to start to see more international women start speaking against the bullshit that black women are doing and championing black men. Because what did Filipina P? She just got finished saying what she needed to say. Pearl came through this bitch and cleaned up, put black women on notice. Shout out to Anton.
Yeah, us black women, we need to us black women need to shut the fuck up and just sit down. We need to actually just stop breeding, because if we create more black women, we're gonna be the same issue. No, I agree with him. We're horrible ghetto.
All right.
I'm not calling for the annihilation.
It's time out if you talking about stop breeding, but go ahead.
Yo, I'm not calling for the annihilation of young black men or young black women, family. What I'm speaking to is the greater issue here, that those who want to sit around and try to make it seem like we don't see what we see. Oh, there's nothing to see here. Oh, you niggas are crazy. You niggas are weak. You niggas are educated lames because you rather deal with a Filipina or a girl from South America versus your own. You should deal with your own. Like, no, fam. Like, if my own is not giving me a good deal, I am able to exercise all rights to say I'm going to a better place where I get a better deal. We're not.
Let me ask you, what's your name? What's your name, brother? What's your name, real quick?
Oh, that's real, bro. You know me, bro. It's Chris Strongar, fam. We was on Pablo's panel. I just switched my logo.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was gonna ask you. I was like, so. I was gonna say, so you mean to tell me you don't want a woman that know how to play spades?
Yo, I remember that. Yo, oh boy said that.
Wait, somebody said that. Woman said that.
Somebody said that on Kevin Samuels. When Kevin Samuels had like the call-in show for men, and he was talking basically about you remember that, and then brothers were coming in here like, I don't know, man. We can't give up on our black woman. And one dude was like, I don't know if I could date another woman. Like, what if she don't know how to play spades? Like, literally, that's what dudes were saying on Kevin's stream, right, Pablo? Remember that?
Yeah, I have a question for GameChanger. So this guy that went on this stream with Chantelle Simone, does he have daughters?
I don't know. I don't know much about this dude. I don't think he's married, but I don't know if he has kids.
And
so
what I find is with a lot of these men who have daughters, Black American men, rather than saying, oh, damn, I need to teach my daughters and prepare them to be wise for some of these men, they take the you niggas need to come back mentality. They take
I agree.
You niggas are cowards. You need to come back mentality.
Well, they think that they're being protective of their daughters by making them, overly independent. I mean, I get that you don't want your daughter to be forced to be in a relationship that she don't want to be in for financial stability. However, they tend to take it too far and just make them so independent
for no woman, for no man. Yeah,
exactly. Unruly and obnoxious. Now, Azrael, I want to say I disagree with you on one thing and one thing only. And that is, you said that if a guy is tall and handsome, then he's safe from it. Unfortunately, somebody said that. Somebody said that before.
Well, I didn't. Or Auston Holleman would be a poster boy for that.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that
I think somebody in the chat said that. I think somebody Placido said that. Placido, yeah.
Okay, so I have to disagree with Placido then, because it's not true now. That was true when I was Austin's age. That is not true now, and that is why Austin came to the realization that he did. And that's because, unfortunately, being tall and handsome isn't enough anymore. And I think that that's largely due to, the accessibility of tall, handsome guys on Tinder.
You know what I realized? I was at my job yesterday. Like, I'm not gonna brag about myself. I'm over 6 feet tall. I'll just say that I don't think women would kick me out of bed. I don't think I look like Quasimodo. Someone told me at my job, oh, you look handsome today. But check this out. On my Hinge, I literally have like 20 women that want to match, and literally 18 of them are fat. Like, I'm not talking about like little chubby. I'm talking about like seriously overweight.
Right.
And
so,
like, am I in the peak of shape? No, but it's like I'm talking about bad. I'm like, they weigh more than me fat. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I like I said, I'm not a model, but I feel as though that this is how bad it's gotten.
Yeah, so the bar has changed to Placido's point. I thought that was you. I don't know why I thought I heard it and I seen
just
it, but
just to piggyback off that, man. Like when I was on Pablo's channel, bro. Like it's the same thing that we talked about. Like it ain't really so. They'll try to change the goalposts to make it sound like, oh, you need to be a certain height. Your money needs to be this. You need to be that. When we all can see, if that was the case, then how come these celebrities are having the same issues? How come these brothers who act like they don't listen to the manosphere and the red pill and passport bros, how come they are sending little signals showing that they are listening to what we're doing? All them people who following Kevin Samuels, bro. Like the word is out. You know what I'm saying? Pandora, you know what I'm saying? Pandora's box is open, G. And brothers are not going for the BS, right? So it ain't about, oh, if you was taller, you know, because that's what in high school, that's what we used to believe. Because, you know, I came up when it was all about, oh, if you was tall, if you was light skinned, if you had braids, because I came up under the what was it, the Bow Wow Little Romeo regime, where if you wasn't braided up and light skinned, you wasn't winning. You know what I'm saying? I came up in that. So the thing is, she nodding her head, she know. So the thing is, it's just like as we got older, we started to realize, no, these females are just following a fad, a trend, of this, of that. So when we come into our own as men, we start to understand that no, don't even listen to that BS that they saying, because they're under the spell of all going after the same type of dude, right? And they're not even making smart moves about how they do that anyway. So a lot of times we figure out as those females are not the females that we even really wanted to deal with in the first place. And that's why I'm saying, when I started having my first taste of traveling and going to different places, honestly, and I said this before, again, on when Pablo did my interview, when I was younger, and you know what I'm saying, my folks, we got stationed over in West Texas in El Paso, because it's a heavy Latin culture over there. When I was over there, that was my first time really understanding, like, whoa, it is really different with these people over here. This is really dope. And all the love that they were showing brothers and stuff like this was separate or different from what I had experienced being over in Fayetteville. And I was just like, bro, like, wait a minute, did I do something different, or is it my shirt today? It's got to be the shoes. Something I'm doing is killing. So that just drives the point home that it really is a culture issue, and that's why it's so vital for brothers who don't have passports, you know, to get your passports. Don't listen to what these cats are trying to tell you, man. Get your money right, get your passports up, and you'll start to understand that it's not dusty guys who are traveling. It's not guys who ain't got it, who ain't got game, who ain't got this, who ain't got that. You know what I'm saying? Because these dudes, you had to be something in order to get to the point where you have enough money to travel, where you've gotten your passport, and also if you have the mindset that where you want to expat and if you want to stay in some of these countries. Ain't no regular dusty nigga doing that shit. You already a step above, but they're trying to equate you to them because they realize that there is a difference between where you are and where they are, and they're trying to drag you back down. Say, "Nah, nigga, you cheating the game." It's just like, "Nah, fam, I bossed up and you didn't." I mean, it is what it is, bro. Don't be mad.
Now let me ask you this, and then we're gonna go to Anna right quick. Yeah, no worries. Let me ask you
Let's
this.
not forget about me.
Well, let me mute you, Chris, because you got like some feedback. Yeah, that was you. Okay, yeah. So let me ask this. Do you think that DJ Torch is far removed from modern generation, so he don't really understand that it's not that the guys are going after Instagram models, that there is a legitimate problem even for people who, you know, fit the mold that would have worked better if he grew up in the Soul Train era? You think that he's just far removed from the time and giving advice accordingly?
Somebody want to go first?
Anybody?
Me.
Well, I'll say this. Go ahead.
You know, brothers are leaving passports because you know why? Because they don't want to deal with the Jezebels in America. So especially black women, most of them are Jezebels anyway. That's why passport brothers are just leaving, or they other race of women in the country in the United States of America.
Don't want to deal with the culture of them. Yeah, I agree.
I have to agree with that. That's why I
All
call
right.
them new age Jezebels.
All right. So
To
you
answer
go,
your
brother.
point,
Go for it.
oh, now to answer your point, I think it's a combination of both. I believe there's a little cognitive dissonance. However, I would say you can't, unless you're Stevie Wonder, you can't be blind to the fact of how women are operating. I mean, you had literally Kevin's show was the social jumbotron. Like you could see that shit from a mile away. You could see how women were acting, how women are operating. Yes, you can say you might have the belief that during your time, women conducted themselves this way and that way. Like literally, we just had. If I don't know if you guys saw this recent Summer Walker video, this joint is just ratchet, hella ratchet, right? But long story short, I believe, in a way, this is kind of a little sinister thing, but I believe that a lot of the older men, black men, sometimes they're in denial because then they would have to, the finger would have to be pointed back at them and they'd be like, damn, that's my granddaughter. Or I have family members that act like this. And basically the men in the manosphere are showing them that the woman in my family or my daughter or my granddaughter ain't shit. That's what I think that is. That's more projection there.
Oh, so I think that you may be onto something. I often blame the boomers for pointing the culture in a bad direction. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that admitting that something is wrong with the newer generations would be confirming my theory that they pointed the culture in a bad direction.
I want to say this last thing, because think about it this way, maybe hypothetically. Imagine you're DJ Torch or somebody like him of his ilk and age, and you see guys like Austin talking about these women ain't shit, and it's like you have a daughter that's 28 and she's out here probably overweight, can never get along with a man, she's going to school for like the third time. It kind of makes you feel like, kind of like you kind of sweating under your neck, so to speak. It's like, damn, he's talking about my daughter, or damn, he's talking about my niece. You know what I mean? I think that might be where it stems from.
Okay, I got you. Anna, what's on your mind? You're muted.
I was gonna say, first of all, let me just apologize because I think the guys up here got a bad reputation. They come off as angry, but that's okay because I definitely understand it. Black men have every right to be angry at us Black women, but I definitely agree with them. I'm not like the enemy. There might be an enemy to me, which that's okay. I understand, because when a few Black women do something, it does represent the rest of us, and it do. And I'm not even gonna lie, I hold us accountable, but I'm not up here to argue. I'm up here to encourage what I've seen. And you could say it's not genetic or whatever. I don't want to go into that. I just want to agree what I observe, just like he observed. Philippines are more feminine and submissive. White women are more feminine and submissive. Us Black women, we are, and I apologize from last time for saying ghetto. I should never said that. I should have never said that.
Well, it's okay. Let me interrupt for a second.
We are not respectful to Black men, and we never will be, and that's just the thing here. So it's smart for Black men to exercise their options.
Okay, so it's not the observation, because the observation that you have matches the fellas and my own observation. It's the conclusion and the action. And see, our conclusion is different. Our conclusion is that it's cultural. Yours is that it's genetic.
We're talking about race here. We're talking about Black women, and they are
it's a culture as well as a race.
The genetic is what makes. Anybody can be a part of a culture. White woman can be a part of the Black culture, but we're not talking about white women. We're talking about Black women.
And the ones that do behave the same way. So I'm just saying that.
Okay, but we're not talking about white women. We're talking about Black women. If Black women have black hair,
I get it, but they have different genetics, but they culturally behave the same. The white women that do. But once again, I want to avoid the nature versus nurture argument, because it's really no way to. Well, there are ways, but it's really it's not the topic at hand. Let's put it like that.
Well, I just want to take accountability.
No,
we are disgusting to Black men. We do not respect Black men, and it's okay for them to date out.
It's obvious you don't respect Black men because you do not respect the host.
I don't. I do, but it's just in my nature to be masculine.
Well, then it needs to be in your nature to get the fuck off.
All right. So on the topic at hand, Anna, about the older guys criticizing the younger guys. Once again, I brought up the question. Do you feel that he's trying to hide certain faults of his generation, or why do you think that is?
I do feel like older guys, they don't like to be honest and truthful about the Black culture. I feel like they just, like I said, and this ties back into what I was saying. By us asking this question here is actually backing me up on what I was saying about how it was the same thing back in the 80s and stuff like that. Older men don't want to be honest because they have these family members but this newer generation, Black men don't have really Black kids or Black this. So they don't care. They will be honest. They will, because majority of their kids are beautiful biracial. So they're not going to go through what we go through as Black
that's
women.
where I know you from.
But my thing is,
what
happened?
She exposed herself.
Damn.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying Black men are creating Black men are
mulatto.
Yeah. Boy.
What? I'm not a mulatto.
Go ahead.
Don't do it. Go ahead.
I'm not a mulatto. I'm Black.
Finish what you were saying. Go ahead. Anna,
what's going on with the hatred? I'm just agreeing with you guys. I agree. And it's like even when we agree with you guys, it's just still not enough. Do you want me to be like argumentative with you guys? I agree. I think that you guys should date out because we're horrible. We are horrible, and we are. And we're not going to change anytime soon. Don't sit up here and waste your life away. Don't waste your life trying to wait on us. You continue on with different groups of races of people because in general, we're not going to change. We're focused on ourselves in this generation.
What's your question, Anna?
If I might point out why
hold on, Pablo. Let me say this. If you are a person fortunate enough, like Eric, to find a woman like Danica, who was cultured differently through her mate, then I would say enjoy that. Same with someone like Melody or Chantelle Simone. It's not genetic. If you do that, you find yourself. If it was genetic, then it wouldn't be transferable to people with other genes. So it is something else, but I don't want to get this genetic versus non-genetic thing.
I wasn't going on genetic. I was I was answering the question on why the men back in the day just don't. We go through a generation where even the older men, I noticed with the newer generation of men, they're more conservative leaning. They're more like, okay, well, racism is not going to hold me back. You know what I mean? But the older generation, they don't take account of what happened.
I'm saying it's a good answer. I agree with you.
Yeah, like it's just a way different dynamic thing. It's a big drift in beliefs, and that's why it's a big division amongst the older. I even see older generation of, and there's some. I'm not gonna bash the older generation of men too much because there are some good qualities of them too. They tell the younger generation to pull their pants up. I don't see that too much happening no more because the younger generation is beating up on the old men. You know what I mean? But I noticed when I was like 13 back in 2012, I used to hear older men check the younger generation. Hey, son, pull up your pants. Now, now in this day and age, I don't see old men saying anything to the younger generation because, this generation, I think a generation is every 10 years. You know what I mean? You got the 90s, you got the 80s, 70s. I think a generation is every 10 years. And back in the last generation of 2010, used to have old men that would try to push their qualities onto Black men, and it was working a little bit
later.
All right.
But this generation is just not. You know what I mean? It's different beliefs, different qualities, different values.
Okay,
and if Black women don't want to move on with the same values as what Black men have to offer for their communities, then they have every right to date out. And Black women, if they get mad, they just get mad. Oh, well, because they're just going to do their thing anyway.
All right.
A few moments later.
Well, right quick. Pablo, what's on your mind, brother?
Well, yeah, you pretty much stated what I was going to state, which was the reason we disagree with you is because you were making statements to the fact that, oh, well, I just can't help it. I'm Black and this is how I am. And no, it is not genetic. It is not inherent. It is a learned behavior. Because guess what?
I know. I didn't grow up around Black people. I grew up around white people.
Hold on, Anna. Go ahead.
So which even further proves my point. It is a culturally learned behavior of Western women.
All right, let's avoid the nature versus nurture thing, because
so
that's a whole.
Anyway,
but can I ask him a question? I want to challenge him on
that. Because then that's the opposite of avoiding it.
Okay, I'm not gonna say. I just want to say my background. My background.
This is why you should not have her on these panels.
All right, Pablo, go ahead. Go ahead.
Is it because
the nature? No, without her and the nature versus nurture thing. Go ahead, Pablo.
I'm not gonna say that. This guy over here said I shouldn't be on a panel.
So go for it, Pablo.
I'm done.
Okay,
go ahead.
All right. Well, he said I shouldn't be on a.
I'm about to close down.
Well,
I
was gonna say something real quick.
Go for it.
I was gonna say something.
Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I get my thoughts together. I had formulated an idea. Go ahead.
Yeah, because that's why those women were never going to get married, because they've been raised by these loudmouth, ignorant women in our community. So, hey, just what it is. I tell all the brothers all the time, avoid modern women, because modern women are finishing in 2022, and they're going to be finishing in 2023. Exactly why I avoid modern women. So, hey, it's how he is.
All right, well put.
I was gonna.
I also get over
add on to my.
Go ahead.
I was gonna add on to my other point before. I think it's a two-edged kind of thing. I think more or less it's the envy of the assumption that they never had the option to travel. Because I'm sure if they were our age, or if it was in their time, they felt as if they were in their youth right now, they would be right there talking about, yeah, Austin, I'm right on the next plane with you. You know what I mean? Not though it's never too late. You know what I mean? But I think to some degree it's a bit of enmity. It's like if your parents your dad can only work out a plant, and now you're the owner of a Fortune 500 because you studied a couple of classes online. You know what I mean? It's like the social mobility, the internet, along with other things, have made it easier for anybody. You can literally do pretty much anything that you want. You can be here today, and then tomorrow you can be in England or somewhere in like Spain or what have you, et cetera, et cetera. I also think it's to the point that they may have felt as though all throughout their time, especially throughout their young adulthood, they just had to bend the knee. They figured there was no other choice. That's just how things were. And to see someone like Austin say like no more, it's like the old slave watching the young slave start the slave revolt. It's like he never thought it would happen in his lifetime. And it's what Austin, I don't want to say, I don't want to carry his jockstrap, but it's like what he's doing actually is very revolutionary in that you're changing the dynamics. Many people thought, for example, not to get on the obsidian, but the whole concept of bringing them back to the table. But it's like, why do we have to bring them back to the table? Why don't we just leave the table and buy a new one and buy another house? You know what I mean? People felt as though that this was the only option. That's why you have these stupid arguments about how much does it cost to make a woman submit, or what do you need to become a high value man? Because if you're a high value man, then you can get a black woman. It's like they're trying to figure out this Rubik's Cube in order to tame this unruly, you know what I mean? And I feel as though Austin is like, just do the best. You just leave. Just leave. That's also all you got to do,
Well, I mean, I
have to agree with you, sir.
I'm not entirely against bringing them back to the table. However, if you're at the table saying stuff like, what are we going to do? 80% of them are fact. What do you expect us to do? Then you're a poor negotiator. And you should not be a union leader, so to speak. You should not be
exactly,
at the negotiating table if you have that mindset. I mean, Austin is bringing something. It's like you have to have like a or else to the table. You have to show a willingness to leave. If you are a union leader, you have to say, because when I was in high school, the teachers went on strike. But before they did, and of course, when you're young, and you're in high school, you know these and you remember these days very well. The teachers had strike days, and of course we didn't go to school on those days. And they had like warnings. They like, listen, you know, you see these 2 days here, you see these 2 days, you know, that we took off, this will happen again. You don't meet our reasonable demands, this will happen again. We will strike again. You know, we will have major strikes if you don't act right. So, you know, you have to be willing to leave if you're going to have any type of reasonable negotiation. So, and that's why I agree with the passport bros. And it doesn't have to be Auston. I mean, Auston is definitely the youngest content creator that I know of. So I see why he gets to shine, because he's speaking for a different generation than Pablo's. But
excuse me, GameChanger. I heard that now that Auston Holleman getting death threats all because he's traveling opinions by those individuals who threaten him. Somebody they're gonna come see him all because his YouTube videos. That what happened last
Who said
3
that?
months.
Oh no, he has been getting death threats though, and on top of that, people have been using they're using the same tactics. I mean, I know people not. Tommy is another whole different story, but they'll be using Austin's picture. I mean, they'll be using his mother's picture in like live streams on thumbnails and whatnot, and talking about, you know, I'll be a stepdaddy and stuff like that. They're using pictures of Austin when he was like 12 and 13. It was a lot of weird shit going on.
Can I get some advice to the passport bros, if that's okay?
Yeah, but right quick, the advice I want to give, right quick. No, you can, but the advice I want to give, but it's too late for Austin, but this is why he's big and I'm not. Don't cam up, hide your identity, and that's why I do that, because I don't want to deal with shit like that. I really don't. Go for it.
I don't
blame you. Of a difference of opinion.
Yeah, niggas is
it's more than that.
Wild.
That's black people, man.
But
wow.
You got it.
Well, I got death threats.
We can never get together.
You got it, Anna. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for the passport bros, I think their movement is a good movement, but I think people get a misconception with them because they do a lot of bashing. And I think if they want to promote goodness for their group or movement, I think they should bring more of the positives to the table about the woman that they are, you know, meeting, or the woman that they are running into. You know what I mean? Instead of, they would, like the passport bros, why a lot of people are bashing them is because when they go overseas, they're not like advertising on the woman over there. They're like degrading the woman over in America. And a lot of people are confused because they're like, well, if you go overseas, why are you still like a lot of men are basically like, if I go overseas, am I going to be bitter about American women? Like, am I ever going to escape American woman? So like, that's kind of like what men who are new to the passport bros, that's what they see. You know what I mean? All they see is these men who's not happy. They're fake happy because they keep talking about American woman when they're supposed to be moved on. Now, Andre and Drea, I love them. They're like, it's a guy who married a beautiful, straight up beautiful Colombian woman. And they don't talk about the negatives. They talk about the positives. Like, when you come over here, this is what you do. You know, you have this group, you have this area over here. The women over here are nice. They're submissive. Oh my God, you're going to fall in love. They talk about stuff like that. And that's why a lot of people gravitate to Andre and Drea. But you got some passport men who make the rest of them look bad because they don't just go over and leave and, you know, be in good spirits. They are still bitter about America. Hello? Am I still here?
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, we're hearing your bullshit.
Okay, let's do this. I hear what you're saying, but let's take a look at Auston since he's the subject at hand. And here is what he's talking about. It's the Brazilian World Cup 2022, renting my first apartment in Brazil, all white party, all fit women. This Brazil, women in El Salvador. So Brazilian woman says she will kiss you in seconds. Let's see. White Brazilian woman says American men are welcome over. So this does seem like he's doing exactly what you're talking about. This one here on the thumbnail, it says Salvador versus Rio. He's doing exactly
then I don't know why
about.
I apologize.
Well, you
then.
look
I don't
at
know why
that.
he's getting hate.
Well,
for
wait
it.
a minute. You've been on my
Ain't that
channel.
something?
Hold just a second. You've been on my channel, and I had an interview. I've had several interviews with Colombian women.
I don't know who you are.
Yes, you do, because you've been on my channel.
I go on everybody's channel, but I don't know
Yeah,
who you
exactly.
are.
His name is Pablo Frescobar.
Pablo Frescobar. Yes, you have. You have been on my channel, and I
Oh.
and I have had several shows where I interview foreign women. I interviewed a Colombian woman twice.
Yeah.
I interviewed a woman from Kenya and one from Ethiopia, I believe. And
Yeah,
and
but
one
how
from
am I
South
trolling
Africa.
if I have the same demeanor? I go on your channel, I think the same thing. Those women are more submissive than us. They
All
are.
right, can I ask you a question?
And
Can I ask you a
your
question?
demeanor
Serious.
on these channels
Go ahead.
shows it. Yes. So
I'm
when
not trolling. I agree with you guys. How is that trolling? Because I agree.
you agree, but then you misrepresent the facts, because he just showed you a whole channel of Austin doing nothing but interacting with foreign women.
And I
I've
do
done the same.
apologize. I'm
So has
sorry.
Richie Mack. So has
I
Richie
know.
Mack. So does
Okay. I
Love
made a
Crossing
mistake,
Border.
and I know I'm horrible for that. I
No,
did make a
you're-
mistake. I'm sorry.
No, you're sliding in the fuckery under the rug is what you're trying to do.
No, I
You think I'm not
literally.
hip to it, but
Hold
I
on.
ain't.
Quick question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. No, before you
What I know Austin
let me
for-
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a man?
No, I'm single. I'm gonna be single because I am the least desired. I don't deserve a man. No, I don't deserve a man because I'm horrible.
That makes sense, because I'm thinking to myself,
individually,
like,
you're saying individually you're horrible, or you feel that you're part of a horrible collective and therefore you don't.
I'm part of that
individually
horrible
deserve
collective, and I know I don't deserve a man. I am gonna die alone, and I accept that. That's why I come on here.
All right,
I don't
well,
have a man. If I had a man, I wouldn't be up here. But my thing is,
no,
I gotta admit,
that's
the
what
only
I'm
thing I
trying to.
know from
That's what I'm trying to pinpoint to you. Like I feel as though you're wasting your exercise, pushing all this energy towards like trolling and trying to get other men's
I'm not
attention
trolling.
like this. When you should be
I'm
out here
not trying to get your
a
attention.
man. I'm be honest.
Okay,
no, I'm being honest with you. You troll a lot. I think you should be your efforts elsewhere. That's what more or less.
I'm not
saying.
trolling.
Let's
How am I
go back.
trolling?
Let's go back to the Austin thing, because
I literally support you guys. How am I
get
trolling?
I get you. Let's go back to the Austin thing, because there's definitely a there, and that's something that
I
needs
know
to be addressed.
Austin for being viral. He goes viral for the drama. So I do have a misconception of him, and I apologize for the misconception.
Let's do this. Like, what people like Pablo and Austin and a lot of the passport bros, including Marco, he's more of a passport cousin, but a lot of what they're doing is showcasing the women. Now, to the women, perhaps not yourself, but to the women out there, because these are American men, then it definitely comes as a slight to them. Highlighting other women by indirectly is a slight to the existing women, because they're basically saying, okay, you obviously have been or have experienced both because you're coming from our camp. Kind of like if a person goes from one team to another one, he goes from the Raiders to the 49ers, and then he says that, oh, the 49ers is the best team that I've ever played for. He doesn't have to actually speak ill of the Raiders at that point. He's just the fact that he's been with the Raiders and he's enjoying the 49ers really says something. It's that type of thinking. If a Mexican person was to talk about how much they like Chinese food, it is indirectly a slight at Mexican food. Now, go for it.
Yo, my thing is this, bro. It's like, I understand, because we got to look at this thing through a couple different lenses. First off, the brothers who do have channels and who do move around and they show what they show, there are levels to showing certain things that you should show and what you should not show, because passport brothers have gotten into the hot water before for showing certain things that they should not have shown, and it can get messy. Even the countries themselves have gotten involved with, like catching some content creators at the border because they get on some reckless stuff. In certain neighborhoods, you don't want to have your camera. So there's a delicate balance of how you want to content create. To want to direct and say, oh, well, as a content creator who travels, you should do this. Leave that to the content creators to decide how he's going to promote his business and do his thing. Because you have to understand, at the end of the day, the audience is speaking to men. And then to say that, oh, well, I feel that men would get a better understanding if you did it this way. Well, I recommend you don't say that because you're not a man. So my thing is this: what's working is working, to the tune of however many followers he has, and to the tune of brothers who came before him who have also traveled and enlightened other brothers about traveling. Shout out to Charles Tyler and his channel and to the BMO group, right? So
I met him in
thing
person.
that,
Oh no, not Charles Tyler. I met Russell Taylor in person.
Yeah,
my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, you good. So my thing is just that what is being done, it is working. And at the same, kind of tone of this, for him to get so much hate, it's like, because regardless if he has 1,000 interviews with a bunch of Brazilian women or not, like, he's still going to catch smoke because he is vehemently against what we are, vehemently against a lot of the narratives that keep brothers locked in the States and locked in this culture. So he's going to be in a constant battle. We are going to be in a constant battle with the Game brothers and the other cats who tell him that, y'all are just goofy for traveling. So there's always going to be like a cold war between guys who have the mindset of leaving and staying. You know what I mean? So you got to be very careful about who and what you're putting a camera in front of, because we know it's not a utopia over there. And some of these young ladies will take advantage of you. So
and he said that. He pointed that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
any content creator, if they grow, they're going to get a whole lot of slack. So I definitely agree with him. And if I offended anybody up here with Auston, I do apologize, because I have not watched his content. The only thing how I know Auston is off of the viral, and I went off of the viral stuff instead of actually checking him out. So I did get a misconception. I thought he only talked about the cons, because that's what I've just heard GameChanger or a lot of you guys and a lot of other people say. And I should have checked out his content instead of going off of what other people. So I did get a misconception of him. It's not that I lied on him.
Well,
it's that I just didn't know him that well.
You're a dumb negress. You don't know any better.
All right. Okay. Let's not take it down that path. But let me ask this. Let me ask this before we go, since about we coming up on the 3-hour mark, and then I'll go to what Pablo have in the back. Oh, okay, or not. But are those women's glasses? Is it just me? I never bought glasses before. Are those women's glasses?
Oh, me?
No, I'm talking about DJ Torch. The guy on the screen. Am I tripping, or are those women's glasses?
They look cheetah striped. I don't know. They look like they got some funky shit going on. I don't know. They look weird. Yeah.
Okay.
Just look funny.
Yeah, because it looked like secretary type, like librarian shit. I was just.
It looked like he got his nose and eyes all up in Passport Bro's business, and he need to get the fuck out. That's what it looked like.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't pay no attention to those hating ass motherfuckers. They're gonna hate it regardless.
Well, no, I mean, I had to do this show because I said I was going to do it when he first came on Chantelle's. I'm trying to, be.
Wait, GameChanger, what do you represent? I'm confused on you now. I thought you were Passport Bros.
No, I'm not a Passport Bro, so to speak, but I don't have anything against them. I mean, I understand why they exist and things like that.
Okay.
And I support them.
Anytime you have a growing movement, you're gonna have a whole lot of people hating on you. But I just don't pay no attention to them, because the more you grow, the more you're gonna have even a bigger amount of haters. Anytime you have a specific agenda, no matter if you're Republicans, no matter if you're Christian, no matter if you're LGBT, you're gonna have if you are growing and you have an opposite narrative of people who think the opposite, there's gonna be some slack. So
no, those words are true. I would classify myself as a bro with a passport. That's the best way.
Bro with a passport. And can
I would classify. Hold on, let me say. I would classify GC as we believe in freedom of association for penis. Right?
Or, can I ask you something? Because GameChanger, you said
phallus autonomous. That's what it is. That almost sound Latin.
That's a good way to put it.
Can I say something, GameChanger?
Because Azriel, right quick. It says, GC, thank you for having me on. Great content as usual. Appreciate you, brother.
Anna, not Anna. I'm sorry, GameChanger. You said that there is no difference, or it's not America as a whole, but you have a passport. Do you notice the difference when you go out the country, or?
Yeah, there's definitely a cultural difference. Absolutely.
Okay, all right. So I do. Yeah. So I don't know what was the pushback for this then.
Well, once again, and we won't get into it. It's nature versus nurture.
I don't get what you mean when you say that.
I'll explain it to you in the back. I don't want to go into details of it, but I'll explain it to you in the back. But But so yeah, that's that. It was one last thing. That's what I want to do. He has something about Danica to say, but that's going to take me past the 3-hour mark. All right. So anybody got any last words? I'm about to close down.
Thanks, man. I appreciate the fire content as usual. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Game
my
Changer.
brother.
I'm glad you visited this. This was a good Chantelle Simone stream. I think I saw pieces of it on my own.
Hey, she speaks the truth, and these women hate her for that too.
True. Go ahead, Pablo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad that you covered this. This was good, in spite of the present company.
Now, Pablo, as a key wearing passport bro dude, do you get this? Well, first of all, do you know dude?
What dude?
The OG that was talking shit about Austin.
No, I never heard of him until he appeared on her show. Never heard of him.
I've seen his videos before. I don't want to cut you off, Pablo. You were saying something?
Is he kind of like Peso Man? He's like the anti-passport bro Negro? Or what?
Yeah. Like if you all you gotta do
that weird ass nigga. Don't even mention his name.
Yeah.
He is one psychotic motherfucker. I swear. But apparently they have beef with each other. But I mean, once again, crabs don't. It's not like crabs unite, on something. So yeah.
But yeah, the screen I was gonna share was of my interview with a Venezuelan young lady in Medellin who cooked sancocho for me, which is like a soup, and she prepared it, and I interviewed her there, sitting at the table, and so we do these things, passport bros. But what tends to happen? Women, very much like they did with Kevin Samuels, they only go for the fast food of the information, the clips, the viral videos, the 3-second, the 3-minute clip that comes across their feed, and they don't take the time to go and actually intake the people's content. And so they form their opinions and their ideas based on, these fast food versions of the information. And so they come up and they'll say things like, oh, well, you guys need to be more positive. Well, we are. We're very positive. Many of us have these interactions documented that we have with women abroad. But guess what? You don't care about that. You only care about what you feel shines a negative light upon you and your behaviors. You don't care to watch that.
Okay, I appreciate that. All right. Shout out to Chantelle for saying, what a man does with his private areas, or however she stated that. That was classy as hell. Appreciate. Oh, let me check the cash apps. Hold on.
While you check the cash apps, can I close out? Say my closing while you check the cash apps.
Yeah, go for it.
I just want to say, shout out to all of the Black men who are succeeding. You guys deserve it, and I love to see Black men happy. I see them happy even though I don't have my passport. I see them happy here in America. I went to go pick up a DoorDash order from Red Lobster, and I seen a Black guy with a beautiful white woman and a beautiful mixed race baby, and they were happy, they were laughing, they were giggling, holding each other hands, and that's just something that I don't see with the same culture. So my thing is, I see them as more happy. I don't think it's I think that even here in America, Black men can find happiness. You know what I mean? I see so many of them happy. And I think yes.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I don't want to cut you off, but I'm gonna ask you a question. I hear the self-deprecation. I hear you saying that, yo, I'm a horrible Black woman. I'm this, I'm that. Okay, I hear you saying that talk. But my question to you is this: what are you doing to quote unquote be better? If that's how you truly feel.
As a Black woman, I don't want to be better.
You
Well,
do
let's do
want
want
to
to
this. Have that conversation in the. I'll keep the thing open in the back, and y'all can have that conversation there because that is probably something that y'all. It's a good question, but it's a long question. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I do want to thank somebody who literal name is nobody. It's literal nobody.
Somebody's name is nobody.
Yeah. So just to say, I'm not going to say thank you nobody. I'm saying nobody sent $25. So greatly appreciate you on the cash apps, nobody. All right. So and with that, I'd like to thank the cash apps and super chats, managers and moderators, those who are listening silently and those who participate in the chat. Y'all welcome to stay and discuss it, Chris and Anna. And this is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.
Y'all, I'm here now. I got something to say too.
Oh, all right. Right quick. Go for it, Jalen.
To all you new age Jezebel narcissist women in the community, more passport brothers gonna keep dating out here in
All right.
America or outside of overseas. So keep this up. I'm out.
All right, peace.